nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get with it.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast, episode 644. I've lost count at this point. We've got Vaush back with us again. Welcome back, Vaush.
Howdy.
Hey,
man,
hey.
Sips Monster. Don't make those beats like they used to, huh?
Yeah. So the first thing I want to ask, because I just watched it yesterday, how was the behind the scenes of the JLP experience?
Fuck me. Oh man, I'm delighted to answer this question.
All right.
Also, to the loving Drunken Podcast viewers, so sorry about the bad cam. Hey, cams are expensive. What are you gonna do? But for the JLP, so glad you enjoyed it.
Yes.
That man is fucking insane. We all know this. He's sincere in it too. I talked to him before and after the shoot, said maybe we could get lunch next time I came down to Los Angeles. Everything from the twinkle in his eye to the strange lip mashing, he's authentic. There is a sincerity behind this man's distance from reality. It's pretty extraordinary.
How involved would you say his handlers are? I've seen he's got a bunch of kind of neckbeardy, like 20-something-year-old white guys working for him, right?
Yeah, it's really weird. The crew seems split between people who are with him and people who are in on the joke. So, for example, I have no idea if his producer, this really nice white lady, I think her name starts with a K. I don't remember. She was very nice. I don't know if she's political at all. I have no idea. But there were two guys that were with him, one who he said was working on his own project right now, who were like 100%. They were like, hey, man, here, let me show you the costume I did last Halloween, and showed me like a picture on his phone of him dressed up as like Antifa or something. Isn't that fucking wild? Or something like that. And it's those two, and they're like really into it. And the rest of them look like they are not just not crazy, but also liberal. When I was talking to JLP on set, the studio crew were around, and they would frequently laugh at my jokes. Or when I would talk about like systemic racism or some they would like one guy like nodded his head knowingly and did like a little fist bump. It was weird. The vibes in there were wild. I have no idea what like new interns get told. Like who talks to them, who lets them know what's going on, you know?
Yeah, and I had no idea that he's been on TV in LA for 30 years.
He's old. He's been doing this for ages.
Yeah, he has some of his early 90s episodes out there on his channel. It's mind-blowing, but for some reason he seems a little more articulate back then than he is now. Maybe it's just age. I don't know.
I think he's actually losing it a little bit personally. I'm not to be like mean or anything, but I do think he's slipping slightly.
Do you think he might have experienced this?
Which only
trauma?
aids in the program, mind. I mean, that's for him. That's quality content.
Well, that's something I noticed. You seemed way more polite with him than maybe you would have been with someone else espousing the same views.
Yeah, I'm pretty. So I don't know. Like wait, hold on. Fucking around with my camera. Is that good? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone watching knows. I mean, I'm pretty ideologically driven. I'm like pretty far left, and that's what I care about. I love spreading like far left messaging. Honestly, you know, it's just a political perspective that I care about sharing with the world, interesting solutions to problems we all genuinely experience. And you have to approach that in different ways with different people. And JLP is so beyond the fucking pale, so mentally divorced from anything even approaching rational conversation. I feel like the only way to get across to him or to look good in his program is just to vibe with it, just to riff with whatever, to take everything on the cheek, to look like you're there with a good sense of humor. If I don't know if you saw, but Ben Burgess, who is, I believe, a philosophy professor, much more intelligent, much more educated than I am, went on there, and he came there trying to like point out the rhetorical and logical inconsistencies in what JLP was saying. He would be like, "Do you love black people?" And Ben Burgess would be like, "Well, that's a leading question, which can prime viewers to have a different expectation." It didn't work. He would just keep repeating the question over and over. Yeah. So fuck that. Fuck engaging with anything he has to say. Just come off funny and interesting, and maybe some of the people who watch will go like, "Oh, he's not like those other leftists. He has a sense of humor." And then they watch your content, and then they think, "Oh God, oh my God, I can't believe a white ethno-state isn't the solution to my economic woes." Did
you see the Gazi Kotso clip with
Gazi? Is that Gazi? The one where she walked out?
No. It's it hasn't actually been posted on JLP's channel yet. Gazi is how do you explain him?
The Fifth Element?
Well, no. How do you explain his positions?
Oh, he's black, African,
socialist reparations for black people, like that kind of thing. And he went off on Jesse Lee Peterson and attacked him. Says, "I talked to your son who changed his last name so no one knows that he." Maybe I should just play it.
It's worth playing, yeah.
Fucking play. Wait, I haven't seen this. Fucking play it.
No, you should watch it.
I'll find it.
It's funny, he talks about like why all black people are in a fallen state. They're immoral because they sleep around and they're slut makers. But this guy has had he's divorced 3 times, and he abandoned his kids or something, or like they left him. It's really weird and kind of sad.
Yeah, I've noticed with a lot of black male conservatives like JLP. There's another one named Tommy Sotomayor that's also done the same thing, that blames black people because of their family structure and things like that when have children that they have nothing to do with at the same time. It's really messed up.
Like how I blame McDonald's for my
charity
obesity.
For me, not for thee, right? Like if you are not taking care of your kids, oh, there are extenuating circumstances. The mother and I don't get along anymore. I'm paying for accommodation. If someone else isn't taking care of their kids, degenerate, poor father, such and such.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's see.
The Fatherless America.
Oh no. I'll put him up here. This is Gazi, and I think JLP. He makes Gazi. Oh shit! I have to turn myself down. And I think JLP.
We got caught.
Double video. All right, here we go.
I'm here with Jesse. Say Black Power. Huh? Yes, you guys. I'm just here with this sellout ass nigga. So I'm just gonna talk to him real quick. Make sure to view his page. Be right back. All right. Black Power. Oh, hey, Gigi.
So 11 minutes later, this is what happened after they tried to do an interview.
You need to calm down. I'm very calm. No, you're not. I'm very calm. I think you're not calm because I talked about your son not wanting anything to do with you. You're acting like a little female. I'm acting like somebody that if I had a child, they'd want my last name, unlike your child that doesn't want your last name. How does that feel? Is that why you attack African and colonized people? Is it because your mother and father didn't want anything to do with you and they left you with your mother in Alabama, a lynching state, while she went to Chicago and started another family and didn't want nothing to do with you until she found out she can get a welfare check on your ass, and that's what brought you back to Chicago. Get him out. Y'all, it's kicking me out.
So I was getting kicked out.
Now it's over. Peace out. So you can talk shit about black people, black men, black women, black trans people, and black queer people. But when it's time for me to say the things about you, the truth about you, let's talk about money laundering. Let's talk about you want to talk about people using financial aid, but you use grants. Use people's grants. Don't touch me. I'm right here. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. DP, are they going to touch me, DP?
They are going to touch me.
Are they going to touch me, DP? No. I'm going to let him have the mic.
Wait, they were talking.
They calling the Pope.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Probably. It's probably.
But it would be funny. We always reply to it as if.
Okay.
As if Gazi's talking to us.
Please now.
All right.
This man is retarded.
You are so
This man is retarded.
mad because your son does not want anything to do with you, unlike me.
Get the mic.
You are mad at me because your son was not to do with you. You want to shit on African and colonized black people every day on this show that is paid for by grant money.
Thank you.
That is paid for by grant money, taxpayer dollars. But you want to say that African and colonized people are the moochers. Your entire studio is paid by tax dollars and grants. Can we talk about why your black ass can't sell a book?
Oh, now he goes off about the book. This is my
greatest selling book is number 247,000 on Amazon. Bitch, you can't sell a book, girl. Why can't you push the book, bitch? Push the book, bitch. Tell him to push his book. Tell him to push his book. Tell him to push his book. Anyways, let me get my notes. That's how you do it. That's how you have a meeting with a sellout ass, coon ass nigga. Thank you for my coffee. Thank you for my ticket. Thank you for that check. Fuck your studio that is paid by grant money. Okay, taxpayer money. It's not paid for by YouTube because you don't make enough money for YouTube. And then tell your son, who changed his last name because he wanted nothing to do with your dirty ass, that I said hello. And tell your two parents that didn't want shit. Your father don't even want you. Your son don't want you.
We were talking that it would have been great revenge on JLP if Ghazi would have blown his son.
It sounds like he did. Because he said, what he said to JLP, he's
Oh
like,
man,
your son
to
don't want nothing to do with you.
JLP's son?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
It seems like he might have. Because he straight
He's
up
like,
said,
tell your son I said hi.
he said to JLP, he's like, your son don't want nothing to do with you, unlike me. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Your son says hi, spits a fat load of cum right onto JLP's
he spits like, he's like, these are your grandkids. And spits in his face.
Just a giant fuck.
Big old cum loogie. Ew.
Yeah, but then he gets kicked out, and then he yells about it for like another, I don't know, 5-6 minutes walking down the street.
Whatever, king shit. Nicely done.
Yeah, you know, I'm not always on this person's side. Actually, 99% of the time I'm not, but I thought this was hilarious.
Gotta give
Are they,
credit, dude.
are they like too far left or they're annoying?
yeah.
I would be annoyed, I think.
Well, yeah, his voice does annoy me a little bit, but you know, I can look past those sort of things. I just don't like. I'm not so much on board with. He talks about how great Africa is, but
is
there's
he
a lot
kind of like a black supremacist type?
Yes, he is, and he doesn't. He
All
refers to all
right.
black people as Africans, even people who have never been to Africa in their life, which is kind of weird to me. And not to mention, there are countries in Africa where he'd be put to death for being gay in too. So
just fucking nationalism's cringe, bro.
Right.
I just god, it's so fucking the frustrating part, is that okay, I understand where black nationalism comes here because like holy fuck, America has put black people through the ringer.
Sure.
No denying that. And I get it, like, oh, you know, if America doesn't want us, fuck it. We built this country, we're gonna leave all these fucking crackers behind. We're gonna go back to Africa and build some fucking Wakandaite paradise or some shit. I don't know. I totally get the sentiment. It doesn't come from the same place that like neo-Nazis, but you have any black nationalist movement would have that dude fucking hung from the neck for that accent. Black nationalists are every bit as far right as fucking white nationalists most of the time. It's bad.
I was impressed though. Like the one thing I heard Ghazi say that made me feel bad, like it was a racist comment against white people, and I didn't think those. I didn't think those could exist where I'd feel bad for a comment made on a white person.
Yeah,
but
because honky, I laugh at that. Cracker, I laugh at that.
Yeah,
like,
those aren't bad.
Those aren't offensive.
But when he called that white woman blue cheese,
blue cheese,
because her blue cheese thighs, I was like, that's fucked up. That's the
Is that a racial insult, or was that just a little bit of clever wordplay?
Call her blue cheese. I was like,
because he said because like the veins show through.
That hurts. Yeah,
I was like, that one hurts. That sucks. I never thought I'd hear it.
Blue cheese is tasty though. Maybe like, you know, blue cheese thighs. You know, yum yum.
Yeah,
I do like blue cheese.
I don't like blue cheese by itself. I like it as accoutrement to other flavors. So if I was having an orgy with like a blue cheese white girl and maybe some a salad, some bacon, I don't know.
Yeah, you can't eat blue cheese on its own. That shit's like, you fucking crack open one of those cans of blue cheese, just stick a fork in there. You'd be a fucking animal. Are you kidding me? No one can do that.
I'll dip some buffalo wings.
It's too
in her
rich
thighs,
to
maybe.
eat on its own, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like eating barbecue sauce on its own. Like, fucking God, please temper this with something with texture.
Put a straw in the barbecue
God.
sauce.
I
like
love
a
blue
Capri
cheese.
Sun.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I like blue cheese on top of a steak. When I grill a steak, I'll like melt a little bit of blue cheese on top of it.
Now, dipping nuggets of blue cheese into barbecue sauce. Now you're cooking with mayonnaise, which is coincidentally the third ingredient.
Mayonnaise. That's a white person food. Yeah.
Whoa! Internalized white phobia.
Yeah.
Oof. Damn. You know, when all the white supremacists look at that and they shed a tear.
We're still recovering from
Beautiful white man
JF.
selling himself out like that.
We're still recovering from JF, man. We unintentionally made JF a thing. Unintentionally.
Yeah, wait. How long ago did that happen? My chat just informed me of that like 5 minutes before you called me. What happened?
I first met JF because he was a patron of this channel. I would say 5 years ago, and at the time he didn't speak about any type of views like he does now. No ethno-statist views or anything like that. He was just a guy that had educational credentials when it came to biology and things like that. So
misuses.
Yeah. I mean, he's blocked us everywhere now because we made fun of him a few times.
A couple times.
But originally he didn't espouse views like that. So it was kind of shocking to me when all of that started.
Not fucking pull the wool out from over them. Fuck yeah. I mean, that's good. I sometimes I feel like it's better to do that from like you guys aren't, you're not like radical socialists or whatever, but you're like fairly progressive people, all accounts that I've ever heard. I think it's better sometimes, like it's easier to expose them, I think, if they don't know what's coming. You know what I mean? Like maybe the defenses were a little bit lower or something, but that's some really fucking good work too. And now JF is doing oh wait, can I tell you something kind of funny?
Yeah.
Okay, so a while ago, look, this is like the big thing I've been procrastinating on. This is like the big project. JF is Jean-Francis Grepi. He's a French Canadian and everything that comes along with it. He's also a neo-Nazi. But anyway, he I got a video made about me from the Alternative Hypothesis, now People's Veto, kind of like, the other JF, the other big, like, quote unquote, science-based, like, race realist. And they 3-hour video. Fuck me. So, of course, I have to do a response. But I'm super lazy. I've been dragging my feet for ages. But a few days after that video came out from the alt-hype, a response was made to it from JF, saying that in the video, he had mischaracterized my position. So it was like the big race realist and the big race realist like duking it out with one another. Well, I'm just sitting there like, cool, now I can put off research for another month.
One of the last times we had JF on the show, we were talking to him about his views that were kind of a new thing at the time. And we were talking about where he would have his ethno-state if he could get it. And Billy suggested that he move it to that garbage island that's floating out in the Pacific Ocean.
And he got
he was triggered.
Angry.
He was really triggered by that.
Yeah, that set him off. He was pretty chill the entire episode.
Yeah.
I think he was debating some guy.
Some college student.
I can't remember the gentleman's name at the time.
Yeah.
But he wasn't put off by that guy at all. And I made one tiny suggestion that he move his entire ethno-state to the garbage island.
Well-meaning recommendation. Yeah. And he blows his fucking gasket. Yeah. Well, this wasn't the first time he was on, right?
Oh, no, this was one of the last times he was on.
Yeah.
Because he had been on a bunch of times in the past. We had a Patreon thing where you could pay to be on the show. So that's how he started coming on.
There was
he was a patron of the show. And then for years he would come on every now and then. Like if we had someone that wanted to debate evolution, like a young Earth creationist or something, he would do that because he was good at that too. But he admitted, without us even prying whatsoever, he admitted to that relationship he had with the autistic girl.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild, dude. I mean, if I remember correctly, I'm probably misremembering. Didn't he get fired from his teaching position after having a fuck ton, like a dozen of complaints of sexual harassment or impropriety thrown against him? And then since then, there was the autistic girl where the fucking court failed to rule against him, but the court like took the girl away from him because she was not found to be like capable of making the decision to be with him, and she was appointed a fucking court a court like supervisor after that. And then now he has like a wife or something, and there was a video of her like complaining that she feels she's like her life is in danger on a live stream. She like bursts into the streaming room and she's like, I need help, and he's like, shut up, woman, or something like that.
Mama
He's
JF.
like, it's I probably only know like a third of the instances with this guy. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I don't know how much is true about the first claim. It very well could be about him getting fired. I do know that he worked at Duke University for a while. I don't know the circumstance about that. I can tell you the second one is absolutely true, because that girl that he met, I'm not sure the exact identity of the girl that he met, but he met her because she was a fan of this show years ago. He met her somehow through the social media channels. And the name of our show is actually listed in the court documents, because you can go up and look up these court documents. And we're mentioned.
Storied history. You're all over the place.
That fan's name was Ryby Jenkins.
Oh no, don't say. But then we had no idea that this had even happened to him, and then he brought it up one time when he was on the show. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think it was episode 400 or 403 or something
like that.
He was on, and we were just talking about lower IQ people, and he was like, I dated a girl with a very low IQ.
Yeah, he said it like that, like a guy who's like, oh yeah, I dated a girl who had a huge ass, but he said it like very low IQ, like he's bragging about it.
Some would say retarded.
Dude, you have no idea. It was like 30. It was so fucking hot. Oh man, I guess it's par for the course, right? People like that like to abuse power, and it's the easiest power in the world, right? Next to fucking kids is people who are developmentally disabled.
Yeah, well, now his current woman, I don't know what's up. I don't know what's going on with her. I'm not going to pretend, but we do know that she went out and like vandalized public property for him in Montreal. There was a news story when the whole like internet blood sports thing first blew up on YouTube. There was this news report that someone had spray painted JF Garapi and Andy Worski graffiti all over Montreal, and nobody knew who did it. And then like a year or so later, someone pulled up the surveillance footage and noticed it was JF's girlfriend doing it. Like the person doing it was definitely JF's girlfriend.
I mean, yes, definitely,
And it was like Richard. She spray painted like Richard Spencer stuff too.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, hate speech in Canada is illegal, and spray painting that kind of stuff might actually be a bigger criminal act than just vandalism up there.
Can you fucking believe how big a thing Nazis are? Like now, I feel like 4 years ago it was like a joke, or like Nazis like an Indiana Jones, and now like you wake up and you're on Twitter and you're like, oh, like those Nazis are up to it again, like whoop, uh-oh. It's is crazy. That came around.
Are they all
now
mentally deficient though? Is that, or just JF's Mama JF?
I will say
my experience.
I will say one thing for me. Actually, where I grew up in northern Ohio. Even when I was a kid, I'm 38 years old. When I was a kid, we used to have white supremacist groups come to my hometown and do a rally like once every few years. And back in I think 2004, a bunch of them came. They went to like a neighborhood where they knew they weren't welcome, a very ethnic neighborhood, if you want to say. And they're walking down the street waving their white supremacist flag, and a bunch of like an angry mob attacked them, and a riot started. Like buildings got burned down and all sorts of things.
Holy shit!
So for me, I mean, like I think they're more visible now, and they definitely veil it a little more than they used to. I think.
I mean, it's all about the big Nazi. It's all about like the big online figures now, right? It used to be like David Duke would be like, what do you think? Like white supremacy America, David Duke. But now if you think like, where's the roots of white supremacy like in America, like today? Like where are people getting that shit from? You think shit like 4chan or like 8chan and all the figures that have cropped up from that and like the post Gamergate stuff and Milo Yiannopoulos was a white supremacist. JF is a white supremacist. Paul Joseph Watson is probably a white supremacist. No, he's definitely a fucking white supremacist.
See, that's another part of the history of the show. Funny you mentioned Milo, because we unintentionally ruined Milo's career too.
Oh, you think I haven't seen that fucking clip? Are you kidding? Everyone's seen that fucking clip. You kidding me?
Yeah.
What was that? What was the pastor's name? He gave the pastor a name or something.
Father Mike?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it. It was what he said after that kind of disturbed me.
He was saying he was the aggressor though in the pedophilic relationship, right?
He said that until he got in trouble, and then he called himself a victim afterwards.
Nice.
I mean, that's what happened.
I want my book deal back. He raped me.
Yeah.
Are you excited for the fucking FurCon or what's it called? FurFest 2019, whatever, that furry convention where he's supposed to show up?
What?
Is he?
Yeah. Whoa, wait. This is going to be real fucking funny.
Okay.
I hope no one dies. So as you know, he's dead out of water. Huge debt. Had to sell his website. He's fucked. You know. Hey guys, thanks for doing that. And he's trying to recoup. And he recently had someone. I don't know if I doubt he drew it. Someone drew him as a snow leopard furry or something. And he was like, "That's right. Milo's going to FurFest or whatever furry convention. It happens soon." And the organizers for the event blocked him, saying like, "Fuck you," like no. And now the Proud Boys have said that they will go there to physically like force Milo in should he arrive at that event.
I want the Proud Boys to wear like hipster neo-fascist fursuits when they show up. How about that?
Yeah, as long as they're in fur. Yeah, what is a fursuit if not the modern Klan hood? It obscures your identity. You have to wash it frequently. You get a lot of cum on it.
We have a lot of fans of our show here, and actually our main Discord moderator is a furry.
Yeah.
So we know the furries a lot around. I don't know why they're attracted to our content.
I know why.
Why?
Because you look like a sexy little otter boy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of our furry fans drew fan art of me and Billy. I'm an otter, and what were you?
I was a panda.
Yeah, and we're railing. We're like finger cuffing Creamsicle. That's our Discord moderator.
The naughty pupper.
Yeah.
So
we get like weird porn fanfic furry art sent.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perks of the job.
I think I'm most often drawn as a centaur when my fan base decides to go that direction.
I can kind of see that.
You get to keep your human body at the top?
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. It doesn't even feel like a furry thing, right? Because I'm not an anthropomorphized animal. I'm a mythological creature that maintains their human character, you know?
Well, I mean, at very least, are they generous with, the lower half?
I imagine they start with that and then they work on the body outwards from there. I feel like they open up with the thing they're most excited to draw, and then they just sort of spread it out from there.
I'd take horse legs if that meant I had a horse dong. I think that's fair.
Oh yeah,
I walk on 100%.
100%.
Do a good stride when I run. 4 legs to run. That's not bad. And you get to have the human body up top. You get basically 6 limbs at that point, right? Centaurs have 6 limbs.
Horse legs are fucking insanely strong too.
Yeah.
That horse leg, like if you know what you're doing, that's like a one-hit kill, break down doors, destroy cars kind of strength in your back legs. Like, yeah.
Do you think that there's like an adult video made with like a centaur and a mermaid making love?
Probably.
I want to see that. If anybody knows if that exists, I want.
Wait, like a live action one? Like they got 2
like CGI.
Oh, CGI. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there actually are mermaids and centaurs. If there are, then I want to see that too.
Whoa. You can dress up. You can totally. You can have like you have the first person is they're kneeling down on a platform and their torso is up and they're the top of the centaur and the bottom is somebody in a good horse costume that's sort of attached to the base and their heads between the knees of the first person, and then you have just sort of a prosthetic horse cock. And then, of course, a mermaid, you just have to slip on a really big sock with sequins on it. And
Have you been to Disney? Disneyland?
I have been. Yeah.
So you go on like the haunted house ride and there's all those animatronics and stuff going on. They need to have an adult ride where you just go in and you get to see like an animatronic centaur railing a mermaid and stuff. Like that would be pretty chill. And
wait, I've talked about this for so fucking long. It triggers the shit out of me. Listen. All right. You two. Okay. Who's failed No Nut November already? You two are blasting it.
Oh, I don't even participate in that.
Okay. We know we know what we're fucking doing. This triggers the fuck out of me. I love animation. I do. I love it. I'll even watch kid shows if I think they're well animated. There's one Mau Mau Legends Heroes of the Legendary Heart or some shit. Beautiful show. Probably a kid show. I don't know. Beautiful. I love animation. And all the fucking money for these porn studios is going into the live action shit, okay? You got your fucking your Riley Reeds getting fucking paid out the ass for all the shit. Danny D, whatever. Big dicks, cool, have fun. We have no money for good porn animation. The only good porn animation comes out of people who work on Tumblr or Twitter, not Tumblr anymore, for Patreon bucks. There are no studios doing it. There's none. There's no money in it. The only existing mainstream animated pornography are those awful fucking 40-minute long hentai movies where they'll show like one clip of like pixelated thrusting for 18 seconds while the camera pans over it, and it's disgusting and horrible, and nobody ever came to that. Sorry, I'm done.
I don't watch hentai. Do they pixelate penetration like they do with actual live action porn in hentai?
Yes.
They do.
Mm-hmm. There are entire teams out there, independent teams that work on depixelating the work that's done there. But sometimes it's really hard, like for animation.
Oh man, they don't release this stuff in the U.S. depixelated? Like
no, it's fucked up. It's really fucking weird. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Their porn laws are so fucking strange to me. And now it's like the most performative, because you've jerked off to hentai, right? Like, hey man, you've seen the comics.
I don't know if I've jerked off to hentai.
I've seen it.
Okay, I'll rep it then. Because you've got two kinds of pixelation. Three, actually. One of them, you literally just black or white out the genitals. 100%. Literally just boop, there. It's just a silhouette. 2, pixelation. 3, these little black bars around like the head of the penis or the clitoris or whatever that obscure nothing but legally count for the purposes of censorship. I don't know why anyone would do the first two when the last one is every bit as legal and obscures far less. It's really fucking strange.
That is strange.
Yeah. I refuse to masturbate to censored material.
It's a matter of principle.
Yeah. Freedom of splooge.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's an article you sent me that I want to go over, so I'm going to play the news intro and then...
He called me sir, and got me so human angry.
People are discriminating against wolves. Wow. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
All right, so... I take a lot of issue with this story that you sent me.
Why?
Well, first of all, I want to know how much Chipotle is greasing the pockets of
the Tampa Bay Times. You really think they're putting money in the bucket?
And why? And they did
big Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like their choice of picture here, though. But
that is a good pick.
I noticed they did a tier list like we do here with the beef quality.
Yeah, the antibiotic use in their beef supplies.
Yeah, so this
can't be right.
Chipotle got that big letter A.
Olive Garden has the same beef quality as Burger King, and Taco Bell is better.
This can't be right. McDonald's is above Olive Garden and fucking Chili's?
It's crazy because I've always heard that Taco Bell had D-grade meat. I've always heard that, and I didn't realize it was above all these other places. Oh my God, Buffalo Wild Wings?
This. Well, Buffalo Wild Wings, who goes there to eat beef? You go there to eat chicken.
Yeah, some sick person probably orders the burger.
Yeah.
There's Panda Express. Man, I've eaten some Szechuan or the Shanghai beef at Panda. It's not bad.
It's pretty fucking good sometimes.
Dude, there's no way you can make me believe that Wendy's beef is lower quality than McDonald's.
I mean, it's based on antibiotics, right?
I don't know. Wait, is this for general quality of the meat, or is this exclusively for the antibiotic usage
just for
from where they
antibiotic.
get the meat from?
Yeah, let's read the article.
Okay, all right.
Ben just wanted to go to the list because he loves
I
lists.
love
Couldn't
lists.
hurt.
Of the 21 fast food and fast casual restaurants graded on their use of beef raised with antibiotics, the vast majority failed with grades of F. Only one, Chipotle, got an A. The grades were released Thursday in the 5th annual Chain Reaction Survey. For the last 5 years, a group of food safety and environmental advocacy groups have banded together to rate the top 25 by sales fast food and fast casual restaurants in the U.S. The surveys cover overall antibiotic use in pork, chicken, turkey, and beef, previously highlighting chicken. This year, beef was selected. In 2017, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration found that cattle accounted for 42% of all medically important antibiotic sales to the U.S. Whoa. 42% of all antibiotic sales go to fucking cattle?
No, it's fucking insane. Listen, I'm not a vegan or anything, but I'm pretty sure if we could Thanos snap the meat industry out of existence, we would fix like 18 ecological and economic problems just like that. It's crazy.
I'm a meat eater, but I would stop if everybody did,
You know,
right?
I've even met vegans that are, they're totally against factory farming, but are kind of actually cool with hunting. I was shocked. I've met a few vegans that were totally cool with hunting, but like saying that it was a way better option than factory farming.
Well, I mean, for sustainability, it is, right?
Yeah.
But also, cattle wouldn't live such.
We wouldn't even have.
Yeah.
The animal wouldn't even really exist if we didn't farm it. You know what I mean?
Well, keep in mind, the reason why the antibiotics here are so high for some of these isn't because they're keeping the animals healthy, like just for food consumption. It's because they keep these animals locked in like 2 foot by 6 foot grids where they stew in their own shit for their entire lives until they're slaughtered. And the antibiotics are just to stem off the disease and plague crawling up from their legs through all the shit and vacuous cankered sores that grow from them not being able to move. So the antibiotic use is probably an indication that the beef is more sick rather than less sick.
Now, I've always heard that if we take too many antibiotics, it's harmful in the long run because we don't have a resistance to, or we're resistant to antibiotics, right? So if we eat a lot of beef that's pumped full of antibiotics, would that hinder us from being able to use antibiotics for medicine?
Unironically, yeah. I've actually read that. Yeah.
Okay.
It actually does it does give us a liminal resistance to certain antibiotic treatments.
Yeah.
We might actually be within like 10 or 20 years of like a new Spanish flu that we legitimately have no idea how to cure.
Yay, new plague. Surveys were sent to the restaurants, and they were graded based on existing policies, implementation of those policies, and transparency about antibiotic use. Publicly available information like company websites, annual reports, and corporate sustainability reports were factored into grades and solely used if restaurants didn't return surveys. Survey responses only counted for a portion of the overall grades. Chipotle was the only restaurant to get an A, while Panera got an A-. Subway and McDonald's both got C's, Wendy's got a D+, and Taco Bell got a D. Burger King, Dairy Queen, Jack in the Box Pizza Hut, Applebee's, IHOP, Domino's Pizza, Olive Garden, Buffalo Wild Wings, Sonic, Little Caesar, Starbucks, Arby's, Panda Express, and Chili's all got F's.
I find it hilarious that you defend Chipotle so much. You take dumps in their restroom all the time.
Took a nice one today.
Now, I think this is hilarious that you're putting so much stock in this article, but when the article came out a few months ago saying that their salad bowls were poisoning people, you didn't give a shit about that.
Well, it was said they could possibly cause cancer.
Right.
They're to-go bowls if you let the food sit in them too long. So I just eat there in the store. No cancer, no problem.
I don't know.
Did we lose a Vaush?
No, I can't hear him. I don't know what happened.
All right, I muted myself a little while ago to blow my nose, and I forgot that I was fucking using Skype. The wisdom from my chat indicates that it's not actually us who develops it's not actually us that grows weaker to the diseases or whatever. By putting the antibiotics in the cows into the meat we consume, we actually make the diseases that are inborn with the cows and with our own bodies stronger, because it makes it easier for them to grow resistant to the antibiotic regimen.
Yeah, I've heard even there's problems with doctors, prescribing antibiotics to people too often when they don't necessarily need to. So
yeah, we need to eat dirt every week or something. We need to find a way to compensate, eat dirt or lick doorknobs, or maybe this would be good.
Maybe the millennials are going to live longer than all of us because they started the trend of eating ass.
Did they start that?
Yeah, they're big.
That's what I'm talking. Nobody had it. Eating ass was invented in 2002. It was a period of emotional despondency following the beginning of the war on terror. Okay, we went hard. Listen, maybe I don't know. Eating ass. Maybe we can replace handshakes with the customary you lick between the fingers of the person that you're meeting. Get all the sauce. I don't know, but or lick between the anal folds. There's got to be a way. We need to resist the super bacteria.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But before we go on to the next story, everyone, if you're watching right now, please like the stream. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to us. All of Vaush's wonderful people that are watching right now, if you're not subscribed to us, you can do that. And
get over there. They do good shit. Get over there.
And our people, you can go over there. Actually, I got a lot of good feedback after the last time you were on. But I had to have you back to do the
such
regular
a shit show.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, God.
It was good
I had
times.
fun.
Yeah.
All right, so should we read the Streamlabs really quick before we move in?
We could,
Okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
But really quick, in fan chat, Memorable C asks, is a wet shart the special sauce of the ass? Discuss. I have to get back here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Chris Xavier.
Listen, history's greatest minds will consider.
Yes, everybody, think this over. We'll come back at the top of the hour. Chris Xavier says, OMG, Billy, I found a clip that you would love. Look up John Cena, the drug dealer, sometime soon.
No thanks.
Sounds really good. I'm going to check it out. Ben should also check it out, too. PT Ham said Garbage Island. Thank you, PT
Garbage
Ham.
Island.
A chainsaw chimera. Is that chimera? Chimera? Chimera. I thought it was chimera, but the cha and chainsaw makes me want to say chimera, and I know that's wrong, but it sounds
That's
better.
all right.
Says, holy shit. It's like the two extremes finally meet. Dumbass black supremacist versus dumbass black white supremacist.
Yeah.
Super SJW versus frenzied alt-righter. To Billy, I have 38 types of shinies in Pokemon Go. How about you? I currently have 162 shinies. I don't know if they're different types though. But
Stop.
I thought I'd pull that up for everybody who asked, even if it was just one person. Fidel Castro said, it's good to see the greatest guest on the greatest podcast. Love you three sweet boys.
Oh, thank you.
Socialism or barbarism, smoke Dwayne
True.
420.
True.
Balthazar 228 says, JF is the only person I've heard who plans to personally populate his white ethno state with underage and compromised girls. What a train wreck.
Well, he also said he'd let Asian women move in too.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Of course he's got yellow fever too.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This dude, I have never seen somebody go so hard to justify their fucking breeder fetish. Holy shit. This dude's so this dude, every woman I ever loved, I am prepared to have baby with her. And every time he's got an impreg fetish, he clearly is into developmentally disabled girls, and now he's got the yellow fever thing. And every time a new thing crops up, he runs backwards, trying to philosophically justify how he wants to get his rocks off.
He just wants to be loved.
I just want to have babies.
He just wants to share his love with the world. Babies. Do you think if you were going to start an ethno state, you'd find the best of the best? That's the whole point about supremacy, isn't it? That you have the best. How come it's always these manlit 5'6" dudes knocking up retarded girls? And I say the word retarded
lovingly,
with shame. I shouldn't use that word, but in this case here, it just sounds better.
I mean, at least in this instance, you're technically referring to people who fit the medical description. I don't fucking know. The white ethnicity, I mean, Jesse Custer said it best, right? Like, why are the greatest champions of the white race always the worst instances of it? Hey, where the fuck is your chin? As they tend to be genuine, like very unimpressive people. Recently, I don't know if you've been following the internet fucking neo-Nazi news, but Nick Fuentes' Graper Army fucking knocked down Charlie Kirk's door a few days ago, and all the people who came up to ask their dumb fuck Nazi questions were 12 or deeply awkward looking.
No.
You know?
Absolutely. And man, Nick Fuentes, he wouldn't even be welcome in the ethno state that he wants. Isn't he part Afro-Cuban or something?
Fucking Fuentes. He's quarter Spanish. That's not even close to being white enough for the kind of ethno states his fucking contemporaries are pushing for.
I'm just hoping that when the ethno state finally gets here, they'll let me be the janitor. That's all I really want, guys. That's all I really want. Fuck
Dude,
him.
they're cocks. That every single one. There are some of the people who went up there, his fucking stooges, were brown. They either think that they can demonstrate their purity to the extent that they'll be included, or they think that they delude themselves into thinking that they meet the qualifications for a white ethno state. I've seen some of these people talk. They're like, yeah, well, white ethno state and stuff, but I'm clearly white, and their skin tone is a nice auburn brown. No, you're not, dude. Why are you doing this?
I like the idea of an inclusive ethno state. So these guys are on the right. They're on the right track. There should be ethno state for all colors.
Then we just have the state,
Right?
And that's good too, I guess. Yeah. It's something.
Browna0909 says, please tell Vaush that he's a manipulative piece of shit and a sociopath. Thank you.
Is that what it says?
That's what it says, shit. Yeah. But they said thank you at the end.
Oh, well.
God.
Damn. Blown the fuck out yet again.
People just love to throw around, they just love to throw around armchair diagnosis like that. How the fuck would they know you're a sociopath?
I don't know. It's funny because actually I can get calling people like Destiny a sociopath because he talks about how he doesn't care about anyone other than his son or whatever. But most of my streams are me being like, I love you guys. I hope we're all doing good. So it'd be really, I feel like I'm not a likely candidate, but I admire the effort.
But don't sociopaths aren't they always the ones that you admire because they play the part of being admirable so they can suck you in and abuse you?
I guess we're waiting for the abuse hammer to drop on my end, right?
Just start abusing people so that this guy's right. The internet loves being right.
So hey, listen, if it got called out here, if I get revealed to be a huge piece of shit, a month from now, you guys can be like, yep, here in the DT podcast, DP podcast,
DP, yeah.
we fished him out. We got it with the help of our intrepid viewers. We blew Vaush the fuck out. Turns out he's a dipshit.
We have exposed a couple people. So
Billy exposed his ass on the last episode.
Oops.
Accidentally. He was wearing an adult diaper.
Yeah.
They should have got him 4XL when they only got him 3.
Yeah, it should have got me bigger diapers, guys. That was not absorbent.
I'm so glad they didn't pay for you to poop yourself.
Chainsaw Chimera came back in and said, fun fact, the oldest penis known in the fossil record belongs to an ostracod, a type of shellfish called Columbosathon, dating back 425 million years ago. So a 425 million year old penis fossil is from a shellfish.
Interesting.
Is it big?
It's a big old stink cod. Ostracod is what it's called. I don't know how big it is. Hey, Michael Bell. Thank you, sweet boy. Chainsaw Chimera also said there was a member of the Italian parliament named Ileana Staller who started as a porn star named Cicciolina, Little Chubby. She's well known for fucking and sucking horsecock. And she made it to parliament? They usually go the other way around, right? They go into parliament and then start sucking off horses.
What's that name again?
Cicciolina, Little Chubby. Ilona Staller. Achu for you says, wow, I've only ever watched y'all host Destiny debates and such. I really enjoyed hearing about all the anti-fascist action y'all have been up to. Keep up the good work, comrades. Never again means abolish ICE. Yeah, let's melt ice. Mr. Red 22 says, how does Vaush feel about Jason Unruhi? Is he a comrade or a clown?
Jason Unruh. Oh, fuck me. He's a
June 28th is when Vanilla Ham died the same day
Oh.
Undertaker.
Oh yeah, we gotta
Kind of
stream
the hell
live.
in.
Someone interrupted you.
The Cell
Yeah,
no worries.
We'll get to that. Yeah, go. Oh shit.
R.I.P. Vanilla Ham.
Jason Unruh is a YouTuber and a Maoist. He's been a contentious figure for a while. I do not like him very much. I think that he's a delusional authoritarian, a conspiracy theorist, and that he doesn't actually care about working people. He's something that's called a third worldist, or at least he appropriates that ideology. And the gist of it, do you know the dynamic of the bourgeois and the proletariat?
Yes.
Yeah. The proposition of the third worldist is that there is actually no such thing as the proletariat within the developed world. That here in America or in Europe or in Australia or any place like that, really, we are so privileged, and all of our commodity consumption is based on the labor of so many third world people that in a functional sense, we're not even proletariat. We're like some weird in-between thing. The real proletariat is the developing world. I strongly disagree with this analysis, but it's what he believes in.
Yeah, I've seen a few of his videos over the years.
Have a sad come, baby, says Vaush versus V Part 2 when?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if V's up for that.
Never land. Calificent said, I think JF became a white supremacist because G-Man gave him a bad impression of black people. Fucking G-Man. Happy birthday, Calificent. And Posidus John said Vaush and G-Man debate. God, that would be...
No.
My head would explode. Michael Bell, again with the 20...
G-Man?
Yeah, G-Man. He's an interesting character. Creationist. He's a black man that is pro-slavery. Like he'll tell you how slavery was actually okay.
Just 5 days ago, I had a debate with Jesus is Lord, and he's a black neo-Nazi. Well, and I just had the JF thing released. Where are these people coming from? Why do they hate themselves so much? God damn it!
It's hard out here. Anti also again said June 28th when Vanilla Ham died the same day Undertaker 3 Man got off the Hell in the Cell Spanish Announce table. R.I.P. Vanilla Ham.
All right, so Vaush, did you get to check out your P score before YouTube hid that? Do you know all about the P score thing?
The P score? Oh shit, no. I mean, it comes out pretty clear most of the time.
Yeah.
So YouTube assigns every channel a score. It's known as a P score. But we're not allowed to view it. But these people recently figured out how to go in and check your score. And then as soon as it was public knowledge that you can go in and check your score through the HTML code of your page, YouTube hit it like instantly. But for about 1 to 2 hours, everyone was able to go in and see what their P score is before YouTube hit it.
Fuck, I missed out. Wait, is this some score that indicates like how hard you get pushed on the algorithm or something?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And someone like PewDiePie would be like up in the upper 900s, and then like the branded like corporate accounts like Jimmy Kimmel and people like that, they're in the thousands. And then most of us are kind of, in the 500 to 700 range.
I'm in the lower 500 range.
I would be extremely curious.
Yeah, and also there's a content ID that you were able to view in the code too. They hit all of it without even making a statement. Once they found out people figured out how to view it, they just hit it. So, yeah, we had a few people check ours for us.
How long ago was this?
It was like last week.
Yeah.
I'd say it broke Monday night.
Wait, guys,
I think.
wait, chat. Why the fuck didn't you tell me? What the fuck? None of you looked it up for me?
Chat.
Yeah. I'd have to think at least one person did.
Digital Bitch Slap says you're not going to read my previous super chat. I don't see it.
Uh-oh.
I don't see it, Digital Bitch Slap. Where could it be?
Uh-oh.
I don't know, man.
I guess we'll look for it in a few to see if we can find it. But why did you keep sending me fast food stuff? Are you trying to tell me something?
Yeah. I'm trying to tell you that McDonald's is fucked up.
McDonald's asked for my kid's gender when I ordered a Happy Meal.
And we need to end this now.
Yeah, and Vaush agrees because you want genderless society, right?
You remembered.
Yeah.
Yes. I fucking hate gender. Fuck that.
How about uno gender? Just one gender. The human gender.
That's what I'm a secular humanist, baby. That shit sounds great to me. Wait, can I unironically make my case for a second? Because most of the time when I say the words gender abolitionist, I get looked at like a crackpot. I'd love to make a quick case.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, listen. So there are lots of things. Listen, lots of things about us pretty physiological. I was born with a dick. It's pretty beautiful, you know. Not much changing there. I could change it if I wanted to. I don't want to. I like it. However, there's another thing, okay? It's not sex. Gender. Gender's pretty cool too, right? Ideas and expectations surrounding one's physiological characteristics. The fact that I wear the clothes I do, style my hair and beard the way I do, it's not really ingrained into my DNA. It's gender. I don't like that stuff. I don't like the idea that like because a person's born with a penis or a vagina or whatever, that they're expected to adhere to a certain color palette, certain fashion styles, certain deferred in how we speak to one another. I think as long as there is gender, there will be gender supremacy, because all gender is essentially is expectation and performance. So I think a society without gender, where we can just do whatever the fuck we want, just fucking chill. You can still be a fucking pretty princess if you want. If you got a fucking vagina and want to wear tutus all over the place, have a grand ass time, but no expectation. Just love it. I think that's very American, very freedom based.
It kind of seems like we're moving in the opposite direction, though. Like we keep adding more genders.
Yeah. When I talk about that, people get mad at me. I think I think we need to be careful. I like breaking down the gender binary as it exists. You know, like man, woman, whatever. Because I know a lot of non-binary people. But I do worry sometimes that our current approach towards this issue is actually reinforcing the importance of gender. Always asking for people's pronouns in bio, constantly reaffirming the validity of gender through performance and clothing and such and such. Sometimes I worry, like, are we actually like making this better, or are we just making it more complicated? I don't know. I
don't want to care more about your gender than I care about my own. I don't know if that's fucked up to say. I don't. No,
I get it. I get it.
I don't put that much thought into my own gender, right? Like, so I'm not going to put that much thought into somebody else's. As a human being, I would like to respect you as much as you deserve, right? And I feel like I would go to great lengths to respect you. If you wanted to be a they, them, he, she, whatever you wanted to be, I would go to great lengths to respect you if I felt like you deserved that respect. But there's also people who, like, they're forcing you to think certain ways. And I don't like force think. I don't know.
How could you elaborate?
Yeah, like the bullying that comes with someone who might be intolerant.
Billy gets misgendered all the time. Like people think he's a woman sometimes.
Yeah, okay,
I've seen
I'm
it
very
happen.
pretty. I have very long hair.
It's beautiful.
I see a lot of people out there who are forcing their ideas on other people, and they're not happy with just like people having their stupid thoughts or ignorant thoughts, right? And I do think that people are ignorant, but forcing people to change, it makes them worse in my eyes. It makes the bigoted people think you can't tell me what to do, and then they're fucking even more intolerant.
Then they have a victim complex.
Yeah, then they feel like they're fucking victims, and there's victims on both sides now, and it's like, Jesus, just settle the fuck down. Respect
it depends on what
somebody.
you're trying to change, right? Like, there are some people out there, for example, who like won't gender trans women correctly, even if the trans woman's like super obviously trans, or like super obviously a woman, you know, like it's very like you would never look at this person and think like, oh yeah, dude. And I'm totally fine with people being as up in arms about that as possible. I don't know what you mean exactly, like by being pressed. There are definitely some like how do you say, overeager? What's a good term? Fucking obnoxious people who press for this stuff, and I don't like that if for no other reason than optics. I think we can all agree like on one thing fundamentally: gender matters more to some people than it does to others. You know, for me, it matters very little, and for you guys too, or at least one of you evidently, and I think that's cool, and that's honestly how I prefer it. But some people care very much. There are cisgender dudes out there who are 100% into the fucking belt buckle cowboy hat performative like hyper Texan masculinity shit, and that is 100% being obsessed with gender when you pull that shit. Girls do the same stuff. The only thing is like if there are small changes we can make that harm and affect us in basically no way, that make other people feel more like comfortable, I think that's always a pretty good sell. But if people are like getting like super performatively angry if you accidentally misgendered them, or if they're like constantly correct, I mean that stuff can get, I think, pretty abrasive.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Have you ever watched Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Yeah, whoa, that's my fucking bread and butter. I got the whole box season. Yeah.
That episode where they go to the genderless planet.
Yep, Riker finds the one who actually wants to be a woman, and everyone else is going to be real fucking matter. Yep, I remember every episode like the back of my hand.
Yeah, and then they give her like a lobotomy to force her to be genderless again at the end. They like reprogram her to be genderless. I was just wondering out of curiosity if you had ever seen that.
Yeah, no, and I mean, we do kind of do that today, but the opposite, right? I mean, we would do forced sterilization for gay men for a long time, for example. And for quite a while, transsexualism was considered like a mental illness that would sometimes lead to people being committed. So we definitely have our own history with that kind of treatment.
It's crazy how 30 years ago Star Trek was touching on subjects like that they didn't normally talk about on TV.
Well, Star Trek's always kind of been ahead of the social.
TNG was incredible.
Yes.
Like really fucking good. You know, I've seen like 2 episodes of Deep Space Nine. It looked great. Don't get me wrong.
It is good.
But TNG, holy fuck, you blew it the fuck out with that.
I'll tell you what, most people that have watched DS9 will say, and I'm appealing to popularity, but this is what people have told me. TNG, they like Captain Picard. They think he's the best captain, and TNG is good to like get your feet wet with Star Trek, but the story of DS9 is way more mind-blowing and more in-depth and better character arcs than TNG.
Yeah, doesn't it? It has longer overall, because for the Next Generation, like every episode was its own bottle. Like there was very little in the way of long. Sometimes they would do 2 or 3 episode arcs, but for the most part, every episode was its own little shindig.
Yeah.
God, that shit is so fucking good. Holy fuck.
And the character of O'Brien is O'Brien's just a guy sitting around operating the transporter on TNG, but he becomes one of the main characters in DS9. He's pretty good. It's one of my.
Did you read how Captain Kirk and Lieutenant Uhura's kiss in the original series was like the first televised black-white kiss in history?
Yeah. I've heard that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's just right, because the actress for Uhura, I think, was actually going to stop doing that gig for a while because she was getting bombarded with hate because she was a black woman on TV who wasn't like a nanny or a maid, back in the 60s.
Martin Luther King reached out.
Martin Luther,
fucking
King. He was like, "Hey, what's up? Nice party." She was like, "Oh wow, hello, my and everyone else's hero. I'm thinking of quitting the job." He takes her in his hands. Don't you fucking dare!
Right. It's a great
get
story.
off that fucking set.
Yeah, Martin Luther King actually wrote another speech, like his "I Had a Dream" speech. He said, "I have a dream where Uhuru and Captain Picard make out every episode." Kirk, yeah, Captain Kirk make out every episode. That was going to be his next speech.
DS9 had one of the first girl-on-girl kisses I had ever seen on TV in the like late 90s because of the Trill. The Trill race, they live several lifetimes through the symbiotic being in their body. So she had lived in male hosts before, but she was in a female body, and she ran into like one of her ex-wives from her previous life.
A lot of people say that the Tribble episode started the furry movement.
Yeah. Maybe.
No, I'm pretty sure that started the shoving gerbils up your asshole as a form of sexual stimulation movement.
Richard Gere's a good guy.
So if I don't know what someone's gender is, I just speak to them neutrally. I don't say, "What's your gender?" So I think this is going back to this really quick.
McDonald's asked for my kid's gender when I ordered a Happy Meal, and we need to end this now. We were driving the 5 hours from Chicago to St. Louis to visit my parents.
Story as well. Yeah.
And although we'd often pack snacks for our 2 kids ahead of such a road trip, we realized halfway through the drive that pickings were slim. My husband pulled off at a nearby exit, and I saw the golden arches of a McDonald's just around the corner. We normally don't indulge in fast food, and if we do, I'm a Taco Bell fan anyway.
Oh, my God.
But it had already been a long trek, and we had no business being picky. My oldest daughter had to go to the bathroom, so she and I went inside to order while my husband, toddler, and dog saddled up to a picnic table out front. When I approached the counter, I was clearly a noob. All the brightly lit signs featuring value meals and combo deals and super sizes overwhelmed me. I ordered some burgers for me and my husband and 2 Happy Meals for my kids. I didn't expect so many follow-up questions. Do you want a 4-piece or a 6-piece chicken McNugget? Apple slices or Yoplait? What drink? Milk, water, or juice box? I answered them all as quickly as I could with a full-blooded 4-year-old tugging on my shirt. And just when I was digging in my purse for my credit card, the cashier asked one more question. Are these for girls or boys? I looked up. Genuine confusion crept across my face, and she repeated herself. Why does that matter? I asked. Oh, for the toy.
Yeah, they have gender-specific toys for the Happy Meals.
I looked down at my daughter, who was now paying attention. It felt like we were all standing there staring at each other for an hour as I internally waffled with a reply. Do I just tell her I have 2 girls? Do I ask for more information about the toys? I considered asking what the boy toy and girl toy was, but felt that in doing so, I'd be normalizing such a classification. Do I refuse to answer? Ask to speak to a manager? I'll take one of each, I said. While we waited for our order, I took my daughter to the bathroom. She asked, what were you and that woman talking about? I once again struggled for words. But as I opened my mouth, my kid kept talking. Did she say I get a toy? Is that true? Her mind thankfully seemed to be elsewhere. Thank God the kid was focused on the toy.
Yeah, the kid doesn't give a shit.
Thank God.
I don't know.
When our food was ready,
no. All right.
When our food was ready, I grabbed the trays and rushed out to the picnic table. Before I could even hand the Happy Meal boxes to my kids, I ripped apart the paper handles and reached in for the toy. Inside the first, a miniature Barbie doll. The other, a Hot Wheels car. It wasn't hard to guess which was for the girls and which was for the boys.
Yeah.
To add insult to injury, the Barbie came with a purple hair comb and the Hot Wheels car came with a 2-piece plastic ramp a kid could learn to build.
What?
Perhaps it was the hours-long drive still ahead of us, but I felt so deflated. While my 2 daughters devoured French fries, I realized something.
Yeah, you realize that your kids don't care at all and you're the one getting yourself all worked up?
As a female, I've experienced unconscious gender bias for as long as I can remember. And since having kids, I've certainly seen how it has subtly crept into their world. I've searched through clothing racks and wondered why a dinosaur onesie for an 18-month-old was in the boys section.
This is not a parody article, is this?
No.
Okay.
Or why there are girls and boys clothing sections at all. And I'd recently flipped through a Halloween costume catalog from a popular children's brand that had boys dressed as astronauts and superheroes and girls dressed as butterflies and unicorns. I've watched countless YouTube videos of gender reveal parties that make a big to-do over pink or blue or more eye-rolly berets or bow ties. But this was actually the first time it had been so overtly thrust my way. Up until then, no one had ever asked me about my child's gender before making a judgment call on what was for her. I sat there watching my girls fight over who got to play with what. Don't worry, they were less concerned with the appropriate toy for their gender as they were with being able to play with whichever one the other sister had. That's what it's really all about there. Women don't care about pretty pink things or shiny metallic cars. They just want to be better than the other girl in the room. That's feminism.
That's what I'm talking about.
Feminism.
Squad W. Ruthless. Shameless.
And debated with my husband over whether I should see it as a progress that these moments of blatant gender stereotyping are few and far between. Yet the fact that this happened at a random McDonald's, one of more than 36,000 locations in more than 100 countries around the globe, selling more than $35 billion worth of food each year, gave me pause. McDonald's has done a lot of things right.
It has?
It's the world's fourth largest employer. It's contributed to global children's charities like the Ronald McDonald House. And heck, it's even rolling out a plant-based burger this month. But it's got to be better at this. When consumers push back on the lack of nutritious options for families, McDonald's made changes. They started offering apples in 2004. They excluded soda from the Happy Meal section of its menu boards in 2013, and they swapped regular juice for a less sugary organic equivalent in 2017. They're currently making other changes to its kid meals to reduce calories, fat, and salt. Being less gendered certainly feels like a simpler problem to solve than reducing sodium counts or, say, using recyclable materials in all of its packaging, a pledge the corporation made last year. The solution here is without any financial cost, though it might require a bit more corporate training. Just as easily as this cashier asked me boy or girl, she could have instead asked Barbie or Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I would probably. You never know, because if someone with other views comes in and you offer their son a Barbie, then you've got another problem on your hands.
Yeah, my son is right. Is this an advertisement? Because it opens with her complaining about something so fucking meaningless. Right, and then she goes on being like, now, McDonald's has done a lot of things right, providing you service with a smile in over 100 countries with 35,000 locations since 1967. They have since pledged in 2004 to begin providing apples in their products and use all recyclable packaging. Like, holy shit. How hard do we need to butter the biscuit, you know?
Yeah, I think both. I think Billy's a shill for the fast food industry, and he procured both of these articles.
I'm the Jeffrey Epstein of cheeseburgers, dude.
The one that pretends to be against McDonald's, but is actually pro McDonald's, and then the Chipotle meat lie that you sent us.
It's not a lie. They have grade A anti-antibiotic beef.
News.
Nope.
Billy, you're gonna have greasy fucking handprints around your neck. You'll be found dead. Soon.
Ronald McDonald chokes me out in my prison cell after I sold Happy Meals to the wrong kids.
So Vaush, have you ever voted Democrat?
Yeah. I voted. I could vote. I voted in 2016. That was the first time I could vote.
Hey, I just want to shout
Obama.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
For
Hillary
Clinton. Yeah. That's. Yeah.
It hurt. It hurt, but I did it. I want to say. By the way, listen. The Barbie Hot Wheels.
Peasant. They are a true hero of the revolution. Keep calm and seize the means of production, comrades.
Thank you.
Da Toyovich. Listen, the Hot Wheels Barbie shit's pretty fucking stupid. Like a boy or girl, you know. But like, holy fuck, God, me, Karen, whoever wrote that article, that's some peak lib shit right there. Just like the simplest solution in the world. Just like, hey, do you think you'd want like a Barbie toy or Hot Wheels or some shit like that? Yeah. And not writing a fucking soliloquy on gender imbalances.
And I want to point out that she didn't once say anything about which bathroom she had to take her kid into. Like, there's a boy and girl bathroom there. Just go piss wherever you want to piss. They asked you what boy or girl toy you want because the toys change up every fucking month or so. It's just not going to be Hot Wheel Barbie every damn time, and I'm surprised she caught them on a Hot Wheel Barbie month. They have girl-geared toys.
Bad month for next month was going to be like a astronaut play kit and gardening set. You know, like there's who knows what kind of wild dichotomy they'll bring it about next. For real though, it's pretty dumb. I'll fuck around.
Unicorns.
How are we enjoying these poll aggregates? By the way.
Yeah, I have to wonder who they poll. I think these different sources poll different populations. I don't think
this is the right.
Yes. This is all of them together.
Wait, center on for a second. I want to pretend that I care about electoral politics for a second.
Yeah, do it.
Shit. Yeah, okay. Biden has not fallen as much as I expect, and I don't know what the fuck that wavering is. I feel like he dips after every debate, and then people forget that he's 100 years old and on his deathbed, and then it slowly rises again. Warren has been falling, and I don't get that, like, fucking at all. It makes no sense to me. I don't know what she's done to bring that about. Nobody's rising along with Warren's fall, except for Buttigieg, and I guess Sanders a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's weird, right?
Part of the Warren thing, and she just recently corrected this, was that she was talking about Medicare for all, but she wouldn't explain how she would pay for it without raising taxes. And she just came out with a plan recently I think today, within the last 24 hours, regarding it, and Biden says it's total trash and it won't work. But that was kind of a thing that was hitting her. People was like, well, how are you going to do this thing that you're promising?
Yeah, now Warren and Bernie have both come out with like definitive plans. Also, AOC on Twitter today popped off, talking about defending Medicare for all and talking about how it would be cheaper than our current system. I don't know what news program she was on. I didn't see the full clip, but she was going on pretty hard.
Yeah, I think it'll probably, I don't know. I think it might be Warren. I think Warren might be the one that we end up getting as far as Democrats go.
Yeah, probably.
I voted for Jill Stein instead. I just couldn't vote for Hillary. I know. I mean, I live in Washington anyway, so technically it didn't matter. Technically, but
yeah, it's symbolic.
Right. I mean, I think it still matters because it shows on the overall popular vote. I think if we can see enough instances where someone loses the popular vote drastically but still wins the Electoral College, maybe we can rethink the Electoral College. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think it's kind of antiquated.
Yeah, I mean the problem with the reason the Electoral College and all of that shit was put into place, same with the concept of the Senate, really, was to sort of mediate population centers. Like the original reason was because it was impossible to do direct voting because it was fucking 1700s, so you'd have to like literally go around with a horse and collect ballots from everyone. Like fuck that, you know. So you just have representatives and keep it local. But nowadays it seems like it's mostly used as a fence for like protecting smaller states and rural areas against the populist influence of larger, more densely populous areas. But considering I don't really give a fuck about states, only people, and I tend to side with the opinions of large cities, then fuck the Electoral College. Get that shit out of there.
Yeah.
Huh. Warren has really blown up this election, hasn't she?
Yeah. She blew up after about the second debate started, and I guess right now because Iowa's the first primary. Once people start winning primaries, they'll get a boost. So if some of these people down towards the bottom here can manage to win a couple primaries, then they might get a boost that they didn't have and bring them back up towards the top. I guess Buttigieg is one. Buttigieg is in second or third place polling in Iowa, and Iowa's the first one. Like Obama wasn't polling very well until he won Iowa against Hillary.
I fucking hate Buttigieg. Look at Kamala Harris down there. Remember during the first debate when she shit-talked Biden, and for a while it looked like she was one of the big three, and then she's just fallen ever since?
Yeah, because Tulsi hit her with the "you're a cop and you've locked people up for doing something you've admitted to doing, you hypocrite."
Damn.
That's what happened.
I would vote for Warren. I mean, I prefer Bernie Sanders. I care about like character a lot. In terms of policy positions in this gridlock of a house of a Congress, it feels like you're able to get like one, maybe two things done, and whether or not you do them well falls more upon like your character and your drive and your willpower than it does on like the actual specifics of the plan. Because like our government has been broken for like 20 years, like almost non-functioning. And we're still kicking along as a country, which I guess is a testament to our civil strength. But I would always go for Bernie. But Warren also seems probably not like a complete grifter. So that's good, I guess.
I'm with you there.
Fuck Biden.
I'm exactly with you right there. What do you think of Yang? That's Billy's guy. Billy's a Yang gang member.
I'm not a Yanger. I'm not a Yanger or a Ganger, my friends.
I just want Yang Gang to give me my $1,000 a month.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
Well, it's good. It's good for us, right? Because if we stream like in the first of every month, we can do like our little dono drives. Like, hey, hey everyone, you got your Yang bucks. Hey, consider donating. You know, we know when people are getting the money. We know they're going to be flippant with it for a little while. We'll take it all in.
Yeah, it is. It's almost like welfare money you can transfer to somebody else because it's actual cash. Wow.
If only streamers could start taking EBT.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Food stamps. I'm going to transfer my
Wait, you didn't hear?
Yeah, the Streamlabs take EBT if we send them a fucking like a biscuit in the mail.
Yeah.
It's not real dollars they send you. They're Yang bucks. They've got his face on it and everything. It's worthless tendency.
I'm still fine with that.
There's a guy who's a fan of our show whose mom is getting, like, Yang is giving people UBI with his own money right now. A few people.
I saw. Oh my god, I said we're gonna do something that's never been done before, and I was expecting him to go up there naked, or to jerk off on stage, or to say the N-word. But no, he's like, or the best thing that could have happened is like, hey everyone, look under your seats, you know, we're doing it now, and like $1,000 is under everyone's seats or something. But instead he turned it into a fucking raffle giveaway on his website.
Yeah, I don't know the circumstances with. There's this guy who's a fan of our show, and his mom gets it, but I think it's because she's disabled or something.
Okay, not like the actual Yang raffle bucks, but but like stipend. Yeah.
Yeah. He's helping a couple people out. I don't know. I would honestly rather get, Medicare for all and have college debt eliminated than just just let everyone have $1,000 a month. That's
the argument I make is that the problem here isn't like the way for the government to deal with predatory systems, which healthcare and university tuition absolutely are right now, unquestionably. The way to deal with them isn't to give people enough money to deal with the predatory systems, because that's not sustainable. The predatory systems can just capitalize on the existence of new, fresh capital for them to suck up from people. 5 years, 10 years down the line, you're going to have the same problem, maybe even worse. The solution is to destroy the predatory systems that are keeping people poor in the first place. If you can destroy things like student debt and Medicare for all, you can take on payday loan vendors. You can deal with the obscene bail that like people of color sometimes get from the criminal justice system. If you can deal with that shit, like that's 1,000 times better than getting the money, because then like that's not like a problem you have to balance sustainably. That's just you've just fixed it. It's
Can we
done.
still get $1,000 a month though and do that?
Yes. You
cool. I just need my
millionaires.
I've tried to ask Billy, like, what's another reason besides the UBI that you'd vote for?
Because he wants to pay college students a salary, perform in college sports.
But they should get paid for performing. Oh, they've already passed laws. I don't know if they should be paid to play the sports, but they should be able to do endorsement deals and stuff like that, which they've already passed a law recently.
They should get paid to play the sports.
I mean,
if you get a job at the fucking library at your college, you get paid hourly to work in the library, right?
Yeah, but they're already
college athletes should 100% be compensated for their labor.
Yeah.
So are the football players who bring in 100,000 people to see them play? Are they going to get paid more than the soccer team who pulls like 10,000 people to come see them play?
I mean, they can get endorsement.
We've got a problem with capitalism, where you're compensated not for your labor or efforts, but rather for what other people are willing to pay for your efforts, right?
Yeah. That does raise a new problem, though. They would. Well, like coaches of college football teams, like the big ones, the ones that are really popular in the upper echelons, that can pull in like a live crowd of 100,000 in their stadium. Those coaches get paid millions, like as much as an NFL coach gets paid.
How much did Jerry Sandusky get paid?
He didn't get paid that much because he wasn't a head coach.
He got.
I'm talking like a head. Well, he probably got paid good enough, but like the head coaches, those make like millions.
Joe Paterno got the millions.
Yeah. He would have got the millions. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Yeah. Nick Saban, he makes millions. But the players, back in the day, players would get kicked out of school if they did anything profiting. Like, there was a guy at Ohio State that he got kicked off the team because he was giving away autographs to get free tattoos from a tattoo artist. So.
That's it's genuinely fucking disgusting.
It is.
It's to instill in these people, it's to make as much money as you can off these people and to instill in them a mindset of complicity and subservience. It's really fucking gross. Because it's not just like, hey, it's not just them being denied an amount of money appropriate for the amount of attention they bring in with their with their work. You know, it's them being denied even the concept of pay. It's to keep them as utterly and absolutely dependent on the system as possible. I think one of the reasons is that people are worried if like they start getting money, then the players who are in sports as a means of sort of financial recuperation would be able to bail out after a year because, like, fuck it, I made $60,000 my first year. You know, I can pay off my student debt and then go get a fucking degree in sociology or something.
The argument you'll hear from a lot of these universities is that, you know, we're giving a lot of the players get scholarships so they don't have to pay, and they'll say that that's their compensation. But I mean, it is a lot of work to play at a high level in a sport. So it is a lot of work. So I understand that.
And they make a lot of money off fucking
off of the
football.
Football and basketball. Those are like the two big ones. And yeah, they like if your university has a really good team, then they're gonna make a ton of money off of it.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think we're gonna move into the. Oh, you know what? I wanted to play this video. This is a ridiculous video. Have you seen the video of the cop telling the guy to slap him?
Oh, shit. I was going to talk about that fucking on my own after this. Yeah, no, hit it up. Perfect. Apropos.
All right. Here it is.
A cop told this man to slap him. See what happens when he listens.
You want to do something? Slap the shit out of me. Get it off your chest. Slap the shit out of me and get it off your chest.
It's at IHOP.
He's talking to you, sir. Slap the shit out of me and get it off your chest. No, I'm giving you permission to slap the shit out of me. Get it off.
He said, "Go ahead and slap the shit out of me. Are you gonna arrest me?" No.
I'm giving you permission.
To this old fucking dude.
Your chest and see what happens.
Cowboy hats are like the old model.
There it is.
Oh.
Damn. Turn around. Turn around.
This guy was just trying to get Liddy at the IHOP.
Get up. That was stupid.
That was stupid.
It was stupid because you told him to do it.
I tell you what was stupid. The guy turned off his body cam to do that, and somebody else happened to have a fucking cell phone camera on him.
Yeah, the fucking original cop, the one who actually did it, turned his fucking body cam off. It was only because someone else had their body cam on that we got to see that.
Was this a body cam footage here?
It may have been.
I thought maybe someone came up with a cell phone, but
I think it's body cam footage, but I'm not sure. It actually looks a little bit too good to be body cam footage.
Okay, yeah.
One way or another.
Deputy Ellison Collins' body cam was off during the incident.
Huh?
And
yeah.
But another officer's camera captured this. Okay,
Yeah.
it was another officer's camera.
All right,
Captured
okay.
it. An internal investigation of the incident began the same month. Collins was put on admin duties and has since been indicted for assault.
Good.
Everyone is accountable under the law whether they are wearing a uniform or not, says District Attorney Kim OGG. Grand jurors were presented all of the evidence and determined the deputy should be charged with a crime.
No, I'm just giving you permission to slap the shit out of me, get it off your chest, and see what happens.
What kind of fucked up individual do you have to be to play
Dude,
these kind of
cops
games?
Cops are pieces of shit. Okay, wait, hold on. We're going full fucking ACAB. Listen, there are some fucking cops that are pretty good people. Listen, I grew up in Beverly Hills. I'm fucking white, okay? I was decently affluent. I never feared cops when I was younger. I never did. I was never scared of them. When I fucking saw cops, I was like, oh shit. Hey, thanks for the ride to school, because I knew some of them. Like, fucking, they're nice people. No crime ever happened in my neighborhood, so all the cops would really do, essentially, is community service. And I didn't realize this was older, also harassing homeless people. But, hey, but, like, the system behind police is fucking disgusting. It's not just the dude there who just played fucking bait and switch with a slap. It's the two officers who were watching and did nothing about it, and the officer with the body cam footage that was provided for this that did nothing to stop it. We don't know if he was for or against it, but he did nothing to stop it. Nothing, no complaints, because they all fucking have each other's backs. And whenever any cases are to be brought against police, it has to be brought up against the DA who works with the police.
Right.
There's no system for reasonably managing accountability, and they don't want there to be, because cops have since day one been power tripping dipshits. Originally, cops in America did slave patrol. After slavery was made legal, after slavery was made illegal, the groups of people that would later become known as police operated as essentially Pinkertons, private bodyguards for industry and sometimes city mayors. They were literally just thugs that would be sent out to keep the streets clean because it made the mayor look better, or to break union backs to make sure that the robber baron can make more money off of it. And like, this system hasn't changed much since then. It still appeases the same people. It still asks of you minimal thought and maximum aggression. It still does nothing to train people how to de-escalate situations. It gets power trippers in there who love exerting their authority over people who, can't do anything against them, which is everybody. They're cops. All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm ranting.
and I noticed this is the sheriff's department, so this is actually, these are deputies of an elected official. That's the main difference between, like the city police and the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that those people are never held accountable. We even had a sheriff in a city I used to live in that got in trouble for covering up that his wife was driving drunk and stuff like that. So, but all he had to do was resign.
You know what? You want to know the cop story that I had when I was younger? I never got in trouble with the cops, like once. It was actually insane to me. I got my brother's not like a socialist or whatever. One time he used to be kind of a trouble kid. I love him. He's great now. He's like fucking actually phenomenal now. But he would like smoke weed all the fucking time. And one time I caught him smoking it in the front porch. Like in broad daylight front porch, busy street, affluent area. This is not an area where and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? I don't care you smoke weed. What the fuck are you doing?" He was like 17 or something. And he was like, "Dude, I'm white. They will never bother me." And it's fucking true. The only cop, we had a school resource officer when I was in elementary and middle school. And he was part of the DARE program. Did you do DARE when you were younger, or?
I didn't do it, but I remember it existing.
I had the DARE program in my school.
Yeah, I went to private school, so I don't think that happened at my school. I don't know.
You're fucking lucky. Those programs, fucking piece of shit. And it's found to be counterproductive, too, because they'll say anything to you. They'll be like, weed, when you smoke weed, it burns your veins from the inside out. When you're high on weed, you'll do anything. You'll sell your car for another hit. Like, this is fucking wild shit. What? But our school resource officer, big fucking guy, very big on this program. Big authority, like 6'5", huge fucking dude. And like at the end of the DARE program, "I better not catch any of you smoking while you're still enrolled here. You're gonna answer to me." Like that kind of shit. He would like do those games. Fucking few years after I graduated high school, dude drove drunk and careened his car into a private abode right off of fucking Olympic, right off a major road.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. Yeah, because they think they're above the law.
Into the house, into a human being's house, who was in the house at the time the car crashed into it. Holy shit, I can't imagine.
There was this 6-year-old kid in my DARE class, and a sixth grade kid in my DARE class, because we were sixth graders, and we're all sitting there listening. Like, most of my friends were fucking smoking weed and doing little bad kid stuff, anyways. But they were just sitting there listening because they're like, "This is what we got to do. We got to play the game and listen to the guy talk." And this little kid in the back, his sixth grader, was like, he was fussing. He's like, "Nah." And the cop's like, "Do you have a problem?" He was like, the kid goes, "I think DARE is a crock of shit." And I was like, wow. He was like usually the nerdy kid, and I was like, I respect the fuck out of this kid right now. Had the balls to say something like that. Oh, fuck, as a sixth grader, I'd just be like, "Yeah, no, DARE, the drug resistance and stuff," and then go smoke a bowl or something after class, But this kid was like, "I think it's a crock of shit." And I was fucking proud. I was proud of that little nerdy kid that day for standing up when every other kid would have just conformed.
King shit. Fight the man.
For real.
Fight the power.
Fight the power.
All right. Yeah, let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
Everybody's favorite segment. Crazy people.
And I saved a few that I knew Vaush would love. You know, part of the show is that I play videos that basically torture Billy and the audience a lot. Videos that make their head want to explode.
Yeah, thanks for that, man.
So I picked a few. Here's I queued up Boogery Nick first.
Oh no.
Yeah. Here's some.
The other thing, like I said at the top of the show, is this. Now suddenly we're supposed to care about Antifa, and especially so because they attacked a person of color. You know, I see in every person who's denouncing Antifa this weekend, it's the identity politics. Every time they talk about Antifa this weekend and how they're, maiming people and they're doing these milkshake attacks and so on, I see, well, they're attacking a gay Asian man. It's a gay Asian man. It's a gay Asian man. Antifa's attacking a gay Asian man. Isn't that so terrible? During Pride Month, they're attacking a gay Asian man during Pride Month. And this is meant to get people's attention. This is meant to say, well, they're now attacking the protected groups. You know, before, if they were attacking Trump supporters, nobody cares, and nobody's expected to care, right? I mean, this has been going on forever, and nobody cared that Antifa was attacking white people or Trump supporters.
You know, I just happened to be in Portland when that was going down, and I just stayed as far away from that stuff as possible.
I was in that.
Also, Antifa's not attacking fucking anyone. They show up to Nazi rallies where Nazis come, and the Nazis almost always initiate violence. Like almost. There are probably a few cases where Antifa went over the head. I've like that old dude got beat up, for example. I don't know the full deets on that. That looked pretty fucking bad. But like in almost every case, the Nazis fucking do it first, and the Nazis have a higher body count, and the Nazis bring more weapons too. So the idea, like again, it's Nazis. You know, they love the fucking victim mentality.
Do they bring more weapons?
Yeah, I think the like open carry shit, yeah, like for sure. Usually when the police show up, like the police response is proportional to how many fucking open carry neo-Nazis or Proud Boys or whatever show up, because that can turn into a slaughter like that, you know?
Here in Seattle, when they have like the neo-Nazi or white fucking supremacy meetups, it's usually like a couple dozen losers and then like 300 to 1,000 counter protesters circling them in, and it just looks like they're about to get the shit kicked out of them.
And the police have to protect them,
and
right?
the police have to protect these fucking white supremacists. And then everybody goes on Facebook like, the cops were there protecting the white supremacists again. And
they have
like,
to.
It's like there's like none of them.
A few times they actually have. For example, in the Portland one that happened, the one that that we're referring to here with the Andy Ngo milkshake thing, the stuff that happened in Portland, it was found that the Proud Boys were actually in communication with the chief of police for Portland, who were actively like promising police protection beforehand, not proportional to like anticipated counter protester response, but just like I have your back kind of thing. There's a lot of historical interplay between neo-Nazi groups and police, especially in the sundown states.
I wonder if any of the police are actually neo-Nazis, though.
That's Portland police?
Oh, for sure.
Are any of them actually neo-Nazis, though? Are police neo-Nazis?
We won't know until we see them with the armband, right?
The alt-right.
Why are they not wearing Nazi armbands if they're not neo-Nazis?
But now, and it's so interesting, it's so telling the way that people are elevating this issue by saying, well, no, but this time, and I see them, they're hitting up Donald Trump Jr. on Twitter and all the other big people. Look, the left, Antifa's attacking a gay man during Pride Month. They're attacking a gay Asian man in Portland during a Pride rally. Does this not belie
that was a Pride rally? What? That was not at a Pride rally. That was like a protest.
It was. I don't think it was a Pride rally at all. But he just says things. Yeah, it's a feeling. It's a feeling experience. Yeah, and it's funny. By the way, it's funny how stereotypically brain dead this is for so many reasons. For one, misreading the situation again. Victim Nick over here, acting as though when people act like Andy Ngo, an Asian gay man, nobody actually does that, believing that people are going to respond positively to calling Andy Ngo a fascist, an Asian gay man. They do it to like make fun of the left, to play that id poll game in bad faith. Nobody here. Nick is acting as though like the fake conservatives are genuinely of the opinion that the crimes committed against crimes, against Andy Ngo are made worse by the fact that he's Asian and gay. But they're not, of course. They're performative, satirical, cynical evocations of identity
Just got
politics to
back from
keep
my
other
smoke
people.
break and I see this fucker's face. I need another cigarette.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Red Scare.
And the funniest part is his fans do this shit too. He describes himself as a proud Afro-Latino American on his Twitter, Nick Fuentes. And if you go to fucking rile up his dumbass Groiper fans, they'll be in there being like, Nick can't be a Nazi. Nick is Mexican, you fucking retard. It's the same shit. They do the same bad faith impulse stuff that he's complaining about right fucking now. Victim Nick bringing it back yet again.
We saw him the other day talking about
Buttigieg. He always talks about. Anyway, go ahead and say what you were going to say.
He was telling his little Cookie Monster story about the Holocaust. How he's basically telling a Holocaust denial story, referring to Jewish people as cookies, so that he can talk about baking them in the oven.
Yeah, he speaks in code.
It's like that's straight up.
Well, he was talking about how the math didn't add up. He was denying the Holocaust. He was saying like there wasn't enough ovens to bake all the cookies.
Yeah,
and enough places to store the baked cookies and that kind of stuff. But another thing he does, because he's very afraid of gay people, like disproportionately, which leads me to wonder. And he always makes fun of Buttigieg and says Buttigieg is so feminine, but I think they'd make a cute couple.
Wasn't there a picture of him and Buttigieg side by side, and they looked like
incestual
twins? Brother lovers?
Yeah, basically.
Nick Fuentes recently grew out a mustache, I think, so he might be pulling away from the from the resemblance. But yeah. He's really fucking young. I think he's like 23 or something.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, and he always talks about how he's Catholic. Man, how is that ever a good thing?
That's where he talks about a lot. In fact, that's where his morals come from. He said, like, my morals come from God. He's sinless. It's funny because the KKK would have strung him up by the neck too. Right. They hated Catholics.
They were anti-Catholic.
If you want to talk like white supremacy, I don't know like where your allies are at, but I don't know what reading of Catholicism could get you to neo-Nazism, but I'm sure he has his justification.
Yeah, that's crazy because I mean his views alone would probably get him excommunicated from the Catholic Church. Because they don't support those types of views. A black person could become pope just as easily. Like, it could happen.
It's not impossible.
No, it's not. I went to Catholic school. I was raised Catholic. I know a lot about it, and I was never taught racism of any sort in Catholic school at all. And anti-Semitism, I wasn't taught that either. Like, we were taught to accept Judaism and Jewish people. So, I don't know.
Yeah, they call themselves paleo-conservatives, and they justify their morality by taking a few, like, in a religious sense, by taking a few excerpts from the Bible, like stone the gay men, that kind of shit, and they bring it out into this broad view, how, like, Christianity and traditional conservatism should be 100% about, like, the ethno-state and, like, destroying degeneracy and prohibiting the gay people or what have you. There's no ounce of, say, charitability or kindness or virtue or anything Jesus Christ or any of his disciples would have actually wanted from people. There's just like blistering, relentless hate directed outwards at everyone who isn't exactly like them, and also at themselves. I refuse to believe people like this are happy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not happy.
Yeah, he made one video about a gay guy that cut his hair or something. Remember that? And he was so weirded out by a gay guy who cut his hair.
Preconceptions.
Like someone that's that concerned about that. And he was like, he even admitted he didn't do a bad job. He's just saying he was a gay guy.
Of course. Last thing you want is a straight guy to cut your hair.
About race in America, that you feel the need, it's urgent, it's politically expedient for you to highlight the fact that he's a minority on 2 counts. Doesn't that tell you to what degree you value different races in the country if you have to say, well, but no, this time it's serious because it's one of these people. And so that's why I can't stand when people try to talk about, so-called marginalized groups, so-called oppressed minorities. If that were the case, why would we feel the need to talk about the fact that he was a...
Have you had a chance to ever debate Nick? Have you debated him before?
No, I haven't. I have the opportunity to debate him on the Kill stream, but honestly, I'm getting fucking bored of the Nazi debates, dude. I'll do it if they like come on my stream or whatever, which they can anytime if they want to. But these debates play out the same way every single time. They lie about their beliefs and won't be straightforward with what they believe in, and then when you try to pin them down in a question, they'll be evasive, or they'll give you a non-answer, or they'll give you a joke answer.
Yeah.
But in terms of actually descriptively, definitively defining what they believe in and defending those positions, these people never do it. And I've watched enough debates with Nick to know that as talented as he, an orator as he is, he wouldn't do it too. It's just fucking boring. And my goal, like as a channel, is to try and help people understand there are many ways to be a leftist. Not everyone has to be like a kind of mollycoddled, like super progressive, emotionally fragile type. You know, I want to bring a lot of people in that I think have been traditionally kind of ostracized by the left. And I don't really get that at all by talking to these people. I just feel like I'm egging on a bunch of like mentally ill chimpanzees, you know, like I don't get any stimulation out of it. I'm not making the world a better place. It's just games. It's not as fun for me as I thought it would be.
You just touched on something that I was kind of hinting to earlier when I was saying it's more veiled now than it used to be. Like Nazis, traditional neo-Nazis with the skinheads wearing the brown uniforms with the armbands, they were more straightforward about their views. But now they kind of they don't come right out and say it. They say everything but that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they don't want to get banned off social media.
Right.
That's the only reason. They don't want to get banned off Twitter or YouTube or Facebook or whatever.
Well, it also makes it look more acceptable
to
to people. It also makes it look more acceptable to people that are on the fence. Like, he's not saying he's an outright racist. He just thinks this because the statistics.
He just thinks white people should be able to defend themselves against cultural against genocide. You don't want white people to be genocided, do you? Well, what do you mean by genocide? Oh, being attacked and replaced by brown. Okay, and then like 15 clarifications later, what they actually talk about is just regular immigration from non-white people. That's what they mean by genocide. It's the same. So fucking obnoxious and boring. Oh, I will say this though. It's funny though because you always go back to the literature. Jean-Paul Sartre wrote a piece on the anti-Semite, meaning broadly the Nazi, and it's one of my favorite pieces of writing, period. It talks about how Nazis, he called them anti-Semites, but he was referring to Nazis here effectively. The anti-Semite is uninterested in words. He does not seek to change minds with words, but rather to disconcert, to discombobulate, and to intimidate. He plays with words and delights all the more in knowing his interlocutors must take them seriously. So they don't care about saying anything truthful or about actually making convincing arguments, because all of their rhetoric is based on appealing to the feelings of other people who are as broken as them, and trying to talk with them is like, it's like trying to hold down like a soapy gyroscope. Like, it's just a fucking, they'll just slip on out. Nazis always lie. Sorry, I'm rambling. My apologies. I like that piece.
This like alt-right programming on YouTube and stuff, it really only exists because it's not anywhere else in media, right? Like the big corporate media has gone pretty far left and liberal, leaving all these viewers with nothing else to watch. So they'll watch somebody who just rambles and makes fucking cookie accusations about the Holocaust, and they sit there and giggle and fucking laugh, and they don't want them to say anything direct, because the chance they start saying something kind of direct, they'll start pissing off their viewer base, because their viewer base came here because everybody else pisses them off. So they want to give them this vague alt-light propaganda bullshit comedy show. There's no real substance, because they just want to keep them viewing. They have nowhere else to go to get anything. So they come to this fucking smarmy little fuckboy in a neckerchief in front of a green screen talking dumb shit. They're
it's like the 2-minute hate from 1984, you know? It's not about like convincing people. Everyone goes there. If you look in the chat during Nick Fuentes' shows, it'll literally just be people spamming in all caps Groiper, shekels, the echo sign around Israel or a Jewish name, or they'll just be trying to say the N-word in all caps. Nick Fuentes goes through his program every night, and it's different events, but it always ends in the same, look at how we're being victimized, look at how we're being oppressed, with no broader thesis or plan, no large prescriptive agenda, no attempt at community building, just a way to capitalize and make money off of the hatred and rage and vitriol of the fan base. It's genuinely disgusting, but, you know, it's probably been happening in one form or another for a pretty long time.
Yeah, and it's concerning how many of them there are, too, because there are a lot.
Yeah.
I've taken
Hopefully
a look
we'll
at
work on that.
Yeah.
A lot of these people are, something's going to happen. So like a shooting is going to get tied to one of these YouTubers, or too many. Like, it's already happened, but more will happen. And there's going to be another crackdown. More and more far right-leaning channels are going to get demonetized or deleted completely.
You know, though,
which I'm fine with, because, you know.
But sometimes that has a bleed-through effect where maybe channels that are perceived as far right maybe might not be. And I mean, I've even felt this channel's felt the effect when it's happened to other people that would be considered right wing. I've noticed there's more of an all around crackdown that happens. I don't know.
Because they want to play the centrist route, right? It's like Twitter said they don't want to bring out an API or a program that would automatically ban neo-Nazis because it would catch Republicans as well, like regular Republicans, even Republican politicians running for office. The rhetoric is similar. It's just how you deploy it.
Sure.
And that's kind of the problem we'd have with YouTube too, right? YouTube doesn't want to flat out say, like, holy shit, we've let a Nazi problem cultivate for a while, haven't we? Hoo boy. They'd say, like, we're trying to direct people away from extremist content. And then channels like mine might also get hit. I mean, I am a political extremist if you just look how far I am from center. Sure. But they don't have the stones or the moral, like, groundwork to say, like, one type of extremism is worse than the other.
Sure. Yeah, I honestly, I'm not a fan of Alex Jones personally, but there are way worse people still on YouTube than him, and he got kicked off. They kind of just made an example of him because he was the most famous one, but his views aren't even, his views are just all weird, wacko conspiracies and stuff. You know,
it was the court case that did it, but I think his little stooge, Paul Joseph Watson, does just as bad of stuff. I'd make that call pretty easily. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I almost guarantee you've never seen this guy before. This is a guy we like to watch sometimes. I can't remember. Bridge Burners, that's his name. Bridge Burners TV.
Oh, I hate this guy.
Shadow Bridge Burners. This is Fuzzy Dunlop Skates, and today we're going to talk about when women drink alcohol at their homes by themselves and what it means. So, in case you can't figure it out, it means that they've already hit the wall hard, and that they've given up, and that they're losers. That's
he knows losers.
When a woman drinks alcohol at home alone, that's what it means.
He didn't waste any time there, did he? He just went right the fuck to it. It was no like preamble, no leading in, just like, oh yeah, because they're fucking losers.
I kind of appreciate that in a way, that he just cut to the chase.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Is this guy? Wait, what's this guy's channel like affiliation? He's got like a Pepe there. Is this guy like a white nationalist, or is he just like
he's
a
kind of like a men's rights?
He's a MGTOW /
men going their own way, loser,
Kakistan guy,
stink pig,
and
garbage human.
We actually took a poll with our audience about whether or not that door back there can close.
It definitely can.
With the bed in the way?
Yeah, there's like a couch that is obviously also his bed.
Oh, that's a couch, not a bed. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but it has a pillow on it, so he probably
tells
sleeps
me it's
on
both,
it.
Yeah.
And we took a vote, and it looks so weird. I've stared at it so much. I'm like, the door is always open too, and he's got something hanging on it to where I don't think it closes ever.
I think the door
I think he climbs over the. I think he climbs over the couch.
No.
What?
No. There's like a recessed area there of a few feet that the door is in, and then like behind the couch, there's going to be like a closet area or something, or it's built in from a bathroom that's on the outside.
I don't know about
the
that.
design space.
I get a live alone vibe from this guy. I feel like he doesn't really ever need to close the door, right?
Right.
Like if you're jerking it, like fuck it. It's just like the cat. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to cast blight upon the lifestyles of our viewers here, but I don't know how much grounds you have to say that women are losers for drinking at home when you look like that.
Right.
And you're talking in front of your bed couch in the second room, you know?
With the door.
I'm really not trying to I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like at some point between me having a face like that and then dressing like that and then recording in front of all that and still having fucking skateboarding posters hung up that he's clearly methodically marked off with a ruler to like make them all nice and even. I feel like at some point during that, I'd think like, maybe today's not the day I'm going to accuse other people of being losers. I don't know.
I do love that he had to have used a ruler to get those so perfectly placed.
They're very nicely placed. I mean, credit where credit's due, right?
Oh no!
You know what? I thought this might have been the case, but what is his shirt? What is that?
Oh my fucking! It looks like a art Vietnam vet. I see like a Vietnam vet, like a black guy.
Is that?
And he's like in a helmet? I don't know.
What's the O? The O looks like a symbol of some sort.
It's like a cityscape, probably Toronto or something.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that
think
is
about
Toronto.
it. Women in their early 20s, late teens who are still attractive, they flaunt their bodies and they whore it up and they get bought drinks and, you know, they go out on the town and men pay for them and you know how it is. But once you get to a certain age, especially if you do that too often.
Isn't a MGTOW just an incel that can't admit that he can't get laid? Like he's like, yeah, I choose not to get laid.
It's a Volcel, right?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, they're the king of all cells. My chat's saying it's a "We Was Kang" shirt, like that the racist, like because there's pyramids next to his head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that kind of tracks. There's like the Pepe, next to.
Oh, this guy's a piece of shit.
It's all fitting together, you know.
The guys stop buying you drinks because you get fat and you get old and you get less hot and you develop an attitude and then you have to buy your own drinks. So a woman that has alcohol at her house cannot get men to buy drinks for her based on her looks. Therefore, we want nothing to do with her. Isn't that right, guys? Because we're too good for this. Isn't that right, guys? I'm not saying to go fucking
consumer strike advocacy here. This is literally like, guys, this business is selling an unethical product. If we all stop buying, the company will have to change. It's so fucking weird to me. Like, first of all, this dude looks mid-30s. So when he's like, yes, the hot late teens, like, I don't fucking know. But like, these people have such weirdly stereotypically mischaracterized understandings of how. I'm sorry, I've fucked around. I've never experienced any of this. I've never had like bitchy demanding women like order me to pay for their shit. I've always gone 50-50. The only reason I pay for stuff on my own now is because I tend to make more money than the person that I'm out with. But that's it. Like, that makes sense to me. I don't know where people are like living these lives. I feel like, thoughts. I feel like what we're getting here is this is the kind of person whose experience with dating is limited to going to bars and like buying drinks for women who you haven't spoken to yet. And because he thinks this is the only way to do it, he sees engaging with women as like a massive money and time sink because that gets fucking expensive really quickly. And it just, oh God.
Do you think,
it's so sad.
Do you think he's a Roosh V fan?
Oh, he has to be, right?
Yeah.
We have to check his asshole. Roosh V fans don't wipe. It's
really?
Just
yeah, they got.
He said that
stains.
once. Roosh V got super depressed and he wrote up like, man, it's not even worth it. All the time and effort and upkeep you have to put into being a man these days. And the list started out with stuff like getting your hair cut and ended with stuff like wiping your ass. And people were like, we managed that part.
Ben and I did a bare ass contest sitting on a piece of paper with a group of other people, and all of our asses were relatively clean. The dirtiest ass in the bunch was Jeff Holiday's.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't even like a poopy ass. It was just he had like a little smudge. That wasn't even a poop smudge. It was like a sweat. It was like a sweat blotch or something. Everybody else's asses were perfectly clean because we're not Rouge V fans.
Listen, I have an extremely clean asshole at all times. Okay, I work day in and day out to maintain a level of quality unparalleled in the YouTube streaming circuit.
Wow, really? Okay. So so you're getting waxed and everything too? You get like the booty wax also?
They come to my apartment.
How are you grading this?
I don't listen. I'll be honest. Anyone, I don't understand toilet paper. I don't know where I would be without wet wipes.
You know what?
Wait, what did you say? I missed that.
I totally agree 100%. I use wet wipes, and when I went to Europe, I used bidets for the first time, and I'm like, why do we not bathe our ass after we shit? Like, how can we not do that?
I don't know any like just using toilet paper to me is like fucking revolting. I can't imagine. I like actually can't imagine. But some people do it and they're fine. I fuck them. I don't smell fucking shit when I fuck them from behind. So I have no fucking idea. Listen, life is complicated and full of beautiful miracles.
Have you ever used one of those Japanese toilets that like power washes your butt?
Yeah, I went to Japan. It was a business hotel. They had it in the bathroom.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It
was fucking incredible.
I kind of want to pick one up off Amazon.
Yeah, they're not that expensive to the ones that just attach to your toilet.
$150 to $300.
Yeah, it depends on what you're getting.
Yeah, I want the super one that has lights and plays fucking music off your iPad.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll play music to cover up your poo-poo and pee-pee noises.
Yeah. Give me that. Give me that top tier shit. I won't even poop at Chipotle anymore if I have that at home. I'll make the extra trek home.
Yeah, Chipotle should have been fucking founded in a country that commonly uses bidets.
But
that's the union
they are more likely
that we've
to
been
become
crying
mass
out
shooters. For. Citation not needed.
There are some incel mass shooters. Do we have MGTOW mass shooters?
I'm not aware of one.
I heard Gary Ridgway was a MGTOW.
The only incel mass shooters I'm aware of was Elliot Rodger and that guy in Toronto. Was there another one?
Well, I mean, was the guy in Toronto, did he shoot or did he just run people over?
Oh, yeah.
Mass murderer.
Mass murderer, not shooter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like Elliot Rodgers shouldn't even fucking count as incel. That kid was cute. If he had just shut his fucking mouth and smiled slightly, like teeth closed, like lips, and just chilled at a party, he probably could have gotten like pussy.
See, that's an example of how a totally shit personality can overrule good looks. If your personality
100%. It's fucking all there are some ugly fucking listen, looks are subjective. There are some conventionally unattractive people out there who get laid like fucking gangbusters because they have a really good compelling personality. You know what I mean? I can't. Okay, wait. This sounds mean to like segue again because I don't actually think he's unattractive at all. But like, Destiny? I mean, of course you know Destiny.
Yeah.
He gets laid all the fucking time. It's fucking crazy how much he gets laid. He does it all the time. And he's like, I mean, I personally think like he's decent like pretty good looking. But it's not because of that. And he's not like big and muscular. He has the body of a child. It's just because he's good at talking. That's all it takes sometimes.
How tall is he? Like 5'9" or something?
He's 5'8".
5'8"? Okay. Yeah,
it's mostly his body.
hard.
It's mostly his body, though. To briefly glide into body shaming, he's very pale and he's very skinny and he has no definition anywhere on his body and he's just narrow framed and he's pulling it off. So you know what? 1,000% respect to that.
It's not hard to get girls if you're a YouTuber.
Yeah, well, money and fame is a factor there too.
If you have what it takes to be a YouTuber and not be the one person talking to yourself on fucking vlogs all day, because there's millions of those out there. I couldn't believe the type of people that would sit there and talk to their cameras and just every day upload and nobody is watching them but themselves. Like, that sucks. But if you get a small audience, you can fuck at least 1% of that audience.
King Cobra, though, he
smashed. He's 6 to 7 girls he's banged in his last 10 years. It's just been 2 years since he banged one.
Oh.
He smashes too, and he's a fucking little Kermit the Frog, Hot Topic garbage man. Sweet boy, though.
I'm just glad I'm not one of them. I'm surprised I'm not one of them, actually. The one-person vloggers. The personality matters a lot, but being popular does a lot, too. I haven't fucked any of my fans because I'm terrified of them, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm very convinced like my death will be met at the hands of one of my fucking stands at some point. But I feel like I could, you know, especially now that I'm in Seattle, right? Like big city.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to throw away the antisocial attitude for one night. And
fucking never. Get it out of here.
We should be back up now.
I'm hitting the refresh and I'm getting. I think we're back up.
Are we?
I'm getting a very poor video here.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there we are. All right. And we'll try to get Vaush back. I don't know what happened. Oh, he's out of the room. That's why.
Oh no.
I'm looking at his stream and he's out of the room.
Oh no.
All right, guys. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it killed our fucking view count and everything, but that's fine. We're back. We're gonna make up for the time we missed. Our computer just blue screened on us and destroyed us.
It went blue man.
And when Vaush comes back, I see he's out of the room on his stream. It's kind of weird. It's kind of cool, the two dual streams that are happening right now.
Is Pimp Monk trying to come on?
Does Pimp want to come on?
I see people saying get Pimp Monk. He was in the chat earlier claiming he was the one that banned us. That he was the one that got us shut down. Pimp Monk said that.
Damn, what a disgusting
hacker Pimp
piece
Monk.
of shit that Pimp Monk is.
Hacker Pimp Monk. I don't see him in the chat right now. He probably left after he destroyed everything to go smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened before where we just got a blue screen of death and that killed everything. I have to bring up Discord too really quick here. See, Vaush leaves the room. His fans stay.
For real. He's got them trained. If only we had our fans trained. By the way, guys, we're so close to hitting tonight's goal.
You know what? Seriously, the reason we're doing a show
on Saturday.
Yeah, the reason we're doing a show is because we met our goal last week. And that's why Saturday shows happen. If you guys could help us, we're 70% of the way towards our goal. Yeah, I know some of you guys don't like Vaush. We get along with him good, though.
Yeah.
You know?
If we could just have everybody hold hands in a prayer circle.
And sing Kumbaya.
Kumbaya, my Lord. Kumbaya.
All right, I'm here. Hello.
All right. Yeah, we just had to fuck with it forever until it started working.
Yeah, everything went
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing. Let me get my cam back on. Here we go.
Holy shit. All right, and I'll get you up there.
I'm just glad
there we go.
Our right-wing snowflake audience enjoyed tonight's
Yes,
episode.
I washed my hands, you fucking degenerates. Sorry, my chat.
Did you do a poo-poo?
No, I just anytime I leave the fucking room, they ask me if I want. It's this fucking joke. Okay, listen, this shit, fucking every time because when I first started streaming, this was very much a basement project. You know, I mean that's how it usually gets started. And when I get up to pee, I want to do it quick because every second you're away, you lose viewers. Like you want to be back as quickly as possible.
I know. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's actually like every 5 to 10 seconds on average you lose a viewer. Like it's crazy how quickly they drop. So I'd want to jump, I'd run, I'd pee as quickly as I can. I would touch my clean hands to my clean dick and fucking let it out into my toilet in my own home, and then I'd run back. And and they'd be like, "Wow, Vaush, you did that so quickly. How did you wash your hands?" To which I'd say, "I didn't." And from this, a fucking meme to outlast the fucking stars has been born. And now anytime I leave for any reason, I am asked now if I washed my hands when I came back, which the answer now is usually yes, but only so they'll shut up.
Yeah, you know, I did an IRL stream one time where I went out drinking, so obviously I had to pee later. And I just put my phone in my pocket and went in and peed in the bathroom so they could hear me pee and everything. But then, I washed my hands and everything, but a lot of people try to make the case that I didn't wash my hands. I'm like, I washed my fucking hands. And none of your fucking business anyway. I'm not cooking your food.
I wash my hands because I got a dirty dick.
I knew it.
I've got a very clean penis. I mean, everyone sweats in their... No, well, okay, fair. Not everyone.
Mine's not even sweat.
Everyone sweats. Everyone sweats a little, but I've got a very clean penis. You know, I keep it nice and washed. It's nice and good. I don't fucking.
Mine's not sweat at all. It's just resin from all the Halloween candy I stole. Yep.
Oh my god!
I just got like Cheeto dust on my pecker and melted.
All the
chocolate.
Three Musketeers, like nougat melted remains.
I got a crust of Butterfinger crispity crunchity peanut buttery dust in my ball sack. It's gross. Looks like Nabisco and PepsiCo just fucking exploded in my lap. It's gross. Got a piece of bubble gum. Chewed bubble gum.
Oh,
yeah, it's icky.
Well, in that case,
joking.
In that case, you should wash your hands after you use
I'm
the
of
restroom.
course joking. I have a dick that eats like a meal. It's very delicious.
Do you?
Here's some money, sweet boys.
Thank you so much. All right, so we're almost at 3/4. We for over a year, every week we have met this goal, and that's why we do 3 shows a week. It was a deal I made with the fans over a year ago. If we can reach at least an $800 Streamlabs goal every week, we do 3 shows. So, and it's been going on for over a year. So right now we're trying to hit that before we end this. We gotta keep the lights on.
You know what I realized? That gross little thing I said about my penis. My mom is watching right now. Hopefully she didn't come back after the blue screen of death.
Your mom watches all. We've gotten you in trouble with your mom so many times because we talk about your dangerous driving.
You make up stories and worry my mom.
No, you're a dangerous driver.
I'm a good driver.
He plays Pokemon Go while driving.
It's not true.
That is absolutely true.
That'd be against the law. I wouldn't do something like that.
It's bad enough that he plays Pokemon Go.
Everyone tweets during red lights, okay? Every single one.
I do not. I don't. I seriously don't.
I actually have a series of red light tweets. Whenever I stop at a red light, I tweet. You can tell which tweets they are because I always put something about dwarfs.
The only time I would mess with my phone at all while driving is if I'm navigating with my phone, and that's it.
I take selfies while I'm going like 90 miles per hour.
I believe, man, your story, dude. I would have wanted to murder you.
Why?
If what you did to those people where you were driving out in the middle of nowhere in pitch darkness and turn off your headlights for like a minute.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I would have freaked the fuck out.
It's quality content.
You were. No one was watching except for you.
Yeah, it was fun though. Be your own content. People at home, if you ever want to go for a ride with me, you'll see that I'm a wonderful driver.
No, you're not.
I am.
If there's a sudden curve in the road, you don't turn into it because you're looking down at your fucking phone.
No, I don't turn into it because I live my life one mile at a time.
He's gonna do the I'm so fucking edgy argument.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time. I live my life on the edge. I'm Vin Diesel, man. I'm the Vin Diesel of
You know what,
people.
though? I'll tell you what. This guy gets away with doing things in public that I know for a fact I would never get away with doing.
Yeah.
And is it fat privilege?
It's not fat priv. I'm preferred. I'm God's favorite. I don't even believe in God, but I'm his favorite.
Do you think there is fat privilege, though?
No, man. It's thin privilege.
There's no fat privilege at all.
I'm trying to think. Maybe like, fat privilege.
I would say maybe there was fat privilege if you got extra rations if you serve in the military, but they won't even let fat people serve in the military.
Okay.
See? That's how fucking that's how hard it is to be a fatty out here.
There's way less super fat people here than there was in Ohio, where I grew up. There's a lot of like fat people in the Midwest.
You can drink more and deal with the cold better. Okay, that's it. Also, if you're fucking a femoid, then you get the big fucking boobies. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes.
I got some chunky tits.
He does.
I went to the casino buffet quite a bit, like in the last couple of months. I've been hitting up the casino buffet for them all-you-can-eat shrimps. Michael Bell getting us up over at 76%. Thank you very much.
Which one are you going to? Snoqualmie?
No, I went to Tulalip, and then I went to the Muckleshoot, which was really good, but they closed it down. I'm so bummed.
They've got a really good steakhouse at the Snoqualmie Casino.
Oh yeah. Is that the one north, right, or is it south?
It's east of here.
Oh, yeah, no, not Snoqualmie. I haven't been there.
Snoqualmie's near. It's near Snoqualmie Falls. Up there.
Long story short, before we go into about this casino cuisine, casino cuisine, that's what I said. Yeah, casino cuisine is really good. Most casinos do very good.
I think Destiny used to work at a casino.
Yeah. Yeah. He was. He worked at McDonald's, and then he was like a casino floor manager.
Yeah, something like that.
For a little while, or something like that. He was apparently pretty good at it too, which I can see. He's pretty good. I can imagine him being good at like customer service.
One of Destiny's biggest talents is how fucking fast he can talk. He's one of the fastest talkers I've ever heard in my life. To be able to articulate that well and speak that fast.
We would love to give you another $20 Streamlabs after this, but we gave it to Vaush because they streamed while you were shut down.
Yeah, our computer took a poop, but that's fine. You can give it to Vaush.
I want to finish my little story about the casino buffet. I used to be the fat guy at the casino buffet. I was always super fat. No, the last few times I've went, there's always like a ton of others that are like way fatter than me.
Isn't that crazy to notice that you got used to being the fattest person
I was always the fattest guy at the buffet.
Yeah.
But now I'm not even like the top 5 fatties. Dude, there was a family of fatties all fatter than me.
At Old Country Buffet, you'd be like the prom king now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so hot and sexy. It's disgusting how terribly attractive I am. Fuck. If I would have just not been morbidly obese, if I would have just been like a healthy child, like if they wouldn't have pushed fucking Twinkies and Hostess cakes.
Who's that?
The fucking big corporate America.
Oh God.
Big corporate America, man. If they wouldn't have pushed that garbage down my throat with if they wouldn't have pushed the fat-free agenda of the 80s. The fat-free agenda ruined me.
Listen to you and your conspiracy
theories. Made me a big,
theories.
thick, fat pig because I was eating all these fat-free Twinkies, which really just means they take all the fat out and pump it full of sugar. They were tricking me.
Yeah, it's
They
true.
made me a fat little pork boy, pickle pig, fuck ass.
Yeah, and then you switch your diet to all fat, and then you lost weight.
I lost tons of weight. Yeah. But if I would have just been raised on like a good quality portion control and not 1,000 sodas, if I wouldn't have been yelled at for leaving a soda half drank, so I was sucking down everybody else's sodas that couldn't finish their sodas, if I would have been feeding on high fructose corn syrup,
the food industry here is unironically like so fucking bad. Like the way we treat it, like consumerly, like, so the way capitalism works, right, is like ideally firms compete to provide the best product at the lowest prices, and the consumers work to find the best product for the lowest prices, or for the highest price. Sorry, they work competition, blah. But like the way this works out in food manufacturing in most cases is that corporations will find ways to make food as cheap as possible, which usually means using artificial ingredients in favor of natural ones, or alternatively using preservatives so you can prolong their life cycle and make the transportation process more efficient with less chance of spoilage. And B, making these foods as chemically addictive as possible. It's actually really fucked up that most, I'd say probably like 90% of kids in this country are going to be raised on foods that are literally designed by highly paid scientists to be chemically addictive while being substituted with the cheapest possible ingredients that still taste good.
Trap food. And they're calorie dense and they're void of nutrition. They take all the nutritional elements out of it, and they fill it up with preservatives, and it's fucking poison. And it's in a cute package. It's got little like cartoon animals on the box, and you sit there and you grub it down. Everybody's saying Billy takes zero personal accountability. I mean, I was over 300 pounds.
Did you have a pool as a kid?
No, man.
Oh, well, there you go.
No, we lost our mortgage to a crack addiction. When I was
his Billy's dad was a crackhead.
Before I was a teenager, I was 300 pounds.
He's fine now.
No, my dad was awesome. He's a really good man. He just got caught up in the fucking CIA.
He's cleaned up
propaganda.
his act.
Even then, he was a good dad. He just smoked a lot of crack.
Yeah.
He took a couple mortgages on the house to puff up. It happens. But I was 300 pounds before I was a teenager. By the time I was 14, I was 400 pounds. And I became 600 pounds as an adult, right? Like I was conditioned. I was in a prison of my own doing, but it was a prison the same. And I didn't realize that there was an out. You know, I thought I was serving a life sentence. I never thought I'd be able to lose all that weight. And I when I found out a way to lose weight that worked for me, that I wasn't starving myself and the pounds started falling off, I wish I would have did it 10, 15 years prior to that. But I just didn't know.
Vaush, if someone...
that's fucking radical. I'm glad.
Vaush, if someone offered you $10,000 to poop on them, would you do it?
$10,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be really uneconomical of me to say no, wouldn't it?
So that happened to Billy. Some person that Billy will not name that has a lot of money that had a fatty fetish and a feeder fetish, right?
Yeah, they wanted to feed me. They wanted to like rub my body rolls and stuff and touch my flab skin. But they wanted me to, after I ate to my fullest, they wanted me to take a dump on them. and then they were like, "How much for me to have sex with you?" And it was like a blank check situation.
And you would have been the top.
Yeah, they didn't care. They're like anything. Like they just wanted more and more. Their ultimate goal was to feed me to be 1,000 pounds and hire somebody to wash my body. like I don't want. They said I don't want you to be able to wash yourself. You're so fat. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Just give me some cash now. And ended up, I ran into Jake the Snake Roberts, former WWF wrestler, at the airport, and he talked me into going on a diet. And that's why I told the person I wouldn't take a dump on them.
True story.
I probably would have been sold into some weird sex slavery shit because this person was trying to fly me out to Dubai for like Saudi shows.
Don't go
Saudi
there.
Prince shows. He's like, I can get you so much money. And I think they were going to pimp me.
So he wanted to fly you out to an Arab country, but also rope you into some gay sex at the same time.
Well, yeah, I was going to be like his crown jewel.
Oh, I think that's pretty much illegal there, right?
This went a lot farther than I expect. I just want you guys to know that this story went a lot farther. I expected us to end like 6 or 7 story beats back, and we're still going. And that's pretty cool, I'm not going to lie, but I really expected it to end a little while. I expected it to end somewhere before Saudi feeder sex trafficking.
The feeder was like, he was like, yeah, I know Madonna. He showed me a video with him and like someone from Lord of the Rings and stuff, and like they were in like a little video together, like a professionally produced video, and it was like they were like, check this out, like I will take care of you. I think this was my introduction to the Illuminati, honestly. I think that me turning this down is why I'm doing Drunken Peasants instead of Saturday Night Live. No offense, Ben.
Oh, man.
I love what we do here. But I think if I would have went the other route, that I would have been like on stage with Fred Armisen doing something moderately boring. Yeah. Yeah. I think I fucked up. I could have been in the Illuminati, dude. I was so close.
You know, I mean, we all know from Epstein, right? Like the way into the Illuminati is through some kinky sex shit.
We know this.
Yeah, we know this is known. This is obviously highly redundant. We all have, I assume, the same opinion on Jeff Epstein and who didn't commit suicide, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just making sure. Yes. I actually have yet to meet a single human being who thinks Epstein killed himself. So I'm kind of waiting for that day. I don't know what I'll do, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and especially now that there's actual evidence like that's being made public that even confirms that.
His injuries are not aligned with a suicide. I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of people I've seen that are like, who cares if he didn't kill himself? He was a pedophile. He's still dead. I see those people.
Such a stupid take.
Yeah, I see those people on Facebook all the time, or similar, black blurts.
Yeah, his trial would have outed so many people, too.
Yeah.
So that's why it was important. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, that's so messed up that someone would say that.
I want my way back in the Illuminati, and I'm willing to take a shit on this guy for free if it gets me in.
I mean, the perks associated with being a member of the Illuminati are. I mean, Yeah, like that's got to be worth at least a couple of shits, right?
Do you know JF Gariepy used to receive money from Jeffrey Epstein?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I saw that. JF actually made a bid to get more grant funding from Epstein, who didn't reply. Oh God Almighty! Holy shit! I want to know. I want to know if there was anything more going on there, because there's no way JF isn't a pedophile. It's not.
You don't think? Oh fuck! That's a rough accusation. You don't think Epstein was just giving him all the defective ones?
Be real with me though. Do you think it's a rough accusation considering how he behaves himself?
I try to be very careful about how.
Careful. Yeah, sure. I totally think. Yeah, I think that a lot of the alt-right types are pedophiles. Usually, that like line of thinking, the white supremacy Nazi stuff, tends to come along with some kind of sexual pathology. This is, I think, fairly well demonstrated, though I'd have to like pull up studies. It's common amongst all people who do radical politics. But because the political alignment of these people orients around supremacy and control and domination, well, in a sexual climate, the easiest way to bring about that feeling of control and domination is, in most cases, I imagine, to have sex either with the developmentally disabled or with children. So I think that tracks like super well in my head. Plus, Republicans have been doing the child marriage shit for fucking centuries now. Child beauty queen shit. I think it all tracks.
I think most women that are mature and able to think for themselves will just find better men than that. I think the Republicans rely on Christian women who have these values instilled in them from a young age that they have to marry into the household where the male is the patriarch and controls them. You know, they need this to continue to survive. And when you can't get a good Christian woman because you're not a good Christian boy, you got to settle for whatever JF settles for.
That's why they want to keep women weak, right? Like you want to keep women barefoot and pregnant. If they're weak, if they don't talk back to you, if they're not willful. This is why they freak out so much when they see like the blue hair or the piercings or the tattoos. It's not just a kind of traditionalism, though that's part of it. It's also because doing those things are typically a sign of some kind of rebellion, usually against your parents. I mean, how many people have gotten freaky haircuts or tattoos or piercings to spite their parents, right? I mean, that's a tale as old as time. But it indicates willfulness in a lot of cases, and a lot of these people. That's why they fetishize the domestic Asian wife, uncorrupted by subversive Western feminism. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or a Russian mail order bride type of situation.
And I was hooked on his book for a long time, okay? I read all of his books, and he's a fucking pedophile. Seriously, don't listen to him, like, because like my ex-boyfriend, he fucking hooked me on the pedophile thing.
Okay.
And
okay.
It was no good, okay? Don't listen to him, like, look, children, they can have show the camera. He's a pedophile, and
okay.
Seriously, like,
I don't know why he lets her on camera, because every time she's on his stream, she says something that makes everyone go, huh. And now she's like, yeah, my ex-boyfriend got me into the pedophile thing.
She probably cries when he doesn't let her on, and he feels bad because he's got a heart. It's just stupid.
Do you think it's the king shit thing for him? Like JF's audience is like for him it's like a flex. Like damn, JF keeps that many like bitches locked in his basement in chained. Like oh my god, what a fucking alpha male, right? So having them come on here and like briefly like demonstrate some very worrying, very concerning stuff before being shutted off back to the basement. Maybe that's like their flex. It's like damn, how many women can you keep in the basement?
It never goes well, though. Every time she says something that's at least
he's
memeable.
a pedophile, and before my ex-boyfriend, he brainwashed me into being a pedophile, and I'm so sorry
my
because I
ex-boyfriend
go to
brainwashed me into being a pedophile.
Yeah.
the rave, I go to to people. Moi, j'arrête de them children have
Okay,
so I'm going to interrupt
so essentially
you.
they were trying to introduce memes in your brain that maybe pedophilia is okay, and now you've rejected
the
these
seriousness. The seriousness of pedophilia. Let's refer to this as memes, okay? Let's just call it memes because we can't own what she just said as being reality. That she just said she was convinced into being a pedophile. Let's just call it a meme.
The real problem is that it's functionally impossible to distinguish between the developmentally disabled and French Canadians. So it's really hard for me to.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, what if?
Do you know?
Oh man!
What if this was just her being lost in translation? Right? That's not English isn't her first language, and like she's really actually terribly articulate.
I've had other people from Quebec tell me that she's got issue. Like, it's not just her accent.
Yeah.
But
no, it's not. It's not. I just don't like the French Canadian accent. I don't think anyone does. Yeah, no, it actually is like really fucked up when you think about like this is what we see public facing. Like, what the fuck is going on behind closed doors? You know, that's like really creepy to think about.
I got an idea for actual mania for a women's match.
Mama JF.
Mama JF versus Piper Bluth in a French Canadian whose voice is more annoying contest.
Piper will win just because
her voice is so annoying, but she's so terribly hot that I listen to it. Mama JF's voice is annoying, but she's so terribly stupid that I listen to it to hear what the next dumb thing she's going to say is.
Speaking of major figures on the right, in pedophilia, did you see Steven Crowder's tweet that he had to delete, the Halloween one?
No.
Oh shit! Oh, this is a fucking good ass meme. It was he was like, "What's your favorite Halloween costume this year?" Sexy Bernie Sanders, sexy AOC, sexy Greta Thunberg, and sexy something else. I forget the fourth one. And everyone fucking capped that shit. And he ended up having to delete it. It had like 20% of the votes too.
Wow. Who did that? Shapiro?
No.
Steven Crowder.
Oh, Crowder.
4.2 million YouTube subs. Put that out on Twitter. I can't. Guys had media training. How do you do? I don't think that this was him actually like think like, yes, I want to fuck children. But like, it's funny because he goes on these like super virtue signaling rants on how the left is trying to normalize pedophilia and then he's like cites examples of stuff like sex education. You know what I mean? And then he'll go on there and like actually be like, haha, sexy 16-year-old actual IRL existing girl costume. Haha. Really weird shit. Really pretty cringe, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
Steven Crowder's Canadian.
They're all Canadian. JF's fucking Canadian. Fucking Stefan Molyneux is a Canadian.
Yep.
Fucking Stephen Crowder. All the big right. I don't know what's wrong with Canada. They keep sending their people to us.
They're like, hey, you know what? We need to make guys specifically to tell America how to live. The disenfranchised Americans.
Lauren Southern. Yeah, Lauren Southern.
Yeah,
Jordan B. Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. God.
Yeah.
What is Canada doing?
I saw Jordan Peterson on like mainstream daytime TV one day because he's buddies with Dr. Oz, and Dr. Oz had him on his show. I heard Jordan Peterson's voice. I just had the TV on in the background just for like background noise, and I heard Jordan Peterson. I'm like, holy shit, he's on like, like housewives are sitting here watching this shit right now.
Well, are you familiar with Agenda 21?
No.
It happened in 1992. The United Nations drafted a plan for sustainable development that involved like putting women in power and stuff. Jordan Peterson helped write that back in 92. It's like he's been part of the.
So is he
He's
psychologist?
a fucking grifter, dude.
Is he what's his educational
He didn't get
qualification?
popular for his self-help or for his psychiatry. He got popular when he put out a 3-part video series about the Canadian C-16 bill. and he did you see how embarrassing that was? He was like, I will not lie. I will not lie about pronouns. Even if they send the police, they can shoot me. I'd rather be shot than lie about pronouns. Just they'll take me away. I'm standing for free speech. This is the most pathetic, like blatant, over the top virtue signaling, and that's nobody cared about him beforehand. He was just like a self-help, like mid-tier famous professor before that. He's a complete fucking grifter. It's disgusting to me that after all of this, he's probably going to be remembered for 12 Rules of Life when he should be more pointedly remembered for being a huge transphobe.
Isn't he like, I don't know, he's I guess that is the first time I heard about him. You're right.
That was it. Yeah, those videos blew up.
I remember those.
He went,
people were confronting
he went from
him in
being
public.
only locally known at the university and a couple other places specific to his field to being like a international sensation over the course of a month. It was fucking crazy. And it was just him like, I will not lie. I need to go watch those videos again. That'd be like some peak. I can watch those and think like, there's still hope for global warming. I can like be transported back 3 years, you know?
Why did he go to rehab? What's his poison that sent him to rehab?
It was anti-anxiety medication, very
Benzos.
heavy stuff that he got addicted to after his wife, who's now I think cured or at least stable, was diagnosed with cancer. Benzos.
Well,
I think.
you know, you can kind of empathize with him. I get, like, I could see myself, you know, drinking, you know, if I had a family member that was terminally ill or something. So I can kind of empathize with that. But yeah, that sucks. People were kind of hitting him below the belt with that too.
Yeah, because he went around telling people how to live their life, and they're like,
true.
"Fuck you!" Like,
it is
you can't even live
hypocritical.
your life right.
It is hypocritical, but you know, I still wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't kick someone when they're down.
I want him to get
point.
better. I want his hot daughter to date me. Things like that, you know. I wish the best for him and his family because I'm the best.
You really like Ben Shapiro's sister.
Ben Shapiro's sister? Yeah, I wish the best for him and his
the
family
fucking
too.
milkers?
Yeah, oh yeah, I want to marry her too. I just want a harem of alt-right sisters and daughters. Is that weird?
That was the main thing. I would never make fun of JBP listen, I believe in political violence. I think it's fine. I'm very open about that. So I don't care if bad things happen to JBP. That said, him getting addicted to benzos following his wife's cancer treatment, that's not like just desserts. That's just sad. I wouldn't make fun of a person for that. What bugs me is that he would always say rather dismissively, like, don't try to change the world until your house is in order. Essentially, don't try to make the world a better place until after you've fixed your personal problems. And he has, for the past several years, been changing the world in an extremely aggressive manner. I mean, he's a huge public figure while being cripplingly addicted to anti-anxiety medication to the extent now that he has to be checked into rehab. That's pretty fucked up to me, that he'd go around telling people like, oh, hey, you need to settle your own problems before trying to change the world. You're not ready. While he himself is like getting fucked up backstage. He would like talk down to people who were in the same position as him. That really bugs me. It shows a lack of character, but I do hope he gets better. So it's easier to make fun of him.
You do a pretty good impersonation of him though.
Do I really? My chat's making fun of me.
Vaush, do you have messy socks on the floor?
No, I haven't worn socks since I discovered where my slippers were hiding.
Would
so
you
nope,
say?
not today.
Would you say, according to Jordan Peterson, that you have a clean room?
Oh no, no. I'm in my office right now. My room is a fucking disaster.
Oh, okay.
It's not Jared level though.
See,
I should say though. I'm sorry. I don't mean to grandstand or anything.
Go ahead.
I do get the sentiment though. If you're trying to change the world, get your house in order. I get that for some people. For example, a lot of Nazis, always bringing it back, of course, do struggle a lot with insecurity or with anger issues or with feeling like they have no personal value, so they have to attach themselves to a group identity. And the consequences of those personal problems are that they attach themselves to a really bad group of people and they try to change the world in a really harmful way. that's pretty shit. And I see value to that perspective. But it's, kind of a sliding scale. Sometimes your problems are a product of the world. And in that case, the way to solve them is to solve the world. So I don't think there's no merit to his perspective. I just think that he framed it in a way where it can only really be interpreted as kind of like a delivery mechanism for Christian conservatism, which I'm just not here for.
He just took advantage of this fatherless America and taught them some things that daddies needed to tell their kids that didn't because they were bad dads.
That's Tommy Sotomayor's movie,
Fatherless America.
the documentary that he crowdfunded that never fully came out.
But there's all these kids that never had a dad that told them to clean their room and wash behind their balls and shit. And now Jordan Peterson comes along like, look, if you want to have a wife, you got to do the Christian thing and clean your room
Is it
and
weird
wash
that I
the
just
smegma.
Is it weird that I just knew to do that without my dad having to tell me that?
Michael Bell, washing your dick, your dad never had to tell you that? Or to keep your room clean?
I don't
There are
so.
a lot of people who kind of want that surrogate father figure, aren't there?
Yes.
That's what they're looking for. Because dads
It's
suck
weird.
these days.
You'd think, if anything, a figure like that would come from the black community, because there are a lot of black kids who grow up without fathers because of a wide variety of socioeconomic problems. But instead, this figure ended up not only being white, but also ended up very much not evoking anything that would be interesting or reciprocal to the needs of the black community. It's kind of interesting to me. Like, why are there so many white boys who need a father figure? What's wrong with their dad or whatever they had? Like, what's up?
Their dads aren't good dads. Their dads are privileged little fucking asshole shits too that just barely fuck their mom right. Like back
I hope
in the
I'm
day,
a good dad if I ever am a father.
You'll be a good dad. You know how I know?
How do you know?
Because you got a dad beard. I can't grow a dad beard, so I'll be a bad dad. I can't grow a good beard. I'll be that dad that's like, hey kid, you want to smoke some weed? And the mom will be like, it's fucking on Infamil still. It's breastfeeding still. Don't give that child weed. And I'm like, I don't even smoke weed. I just thought the kid would want some. I'm the cool dad. But that's because I can't grow a beard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as I've got the beard on lock, I've got pretty good beard genetics.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, my dad doesn't. He can't grow a beard. He can grow a goatee, but his cheeks don't fill in. If he tries to grow a beard, it gets all patchy. So, skips a generation maybe?
Do you think your mom had some fur?
Oh, I mean, listen. I mean, I crawled out of there once, and I had plenty to grab onto. Okay,
you had to spread the curtains
my mom's
over.
dad has a pretty thick beard.
Yeah, that's where you get it from. Your mom's side. You got that mom beard. That's
mom
right.
beard.
Yeah, that's good because now if you
I'm proud. I'm here for it.
yeah, it's in you. So if you get a girl with a mom beard, your kid's gonna come out looking like Cousin It, just drenched in fur.
I mean, that's hot these days, right?
It
Isn't
is.
I feel like body hair has made a comeback with the whole like dad bod grizzly kind of aesthetic,
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got hair, but in the right places. Like shoulder hair. That doesn't work.
You don't like shoulder hair?
No. It's gotta be like chest and maybe belly hair.
I don't have it. I just got hair on my head, dude.
I know.
I do think, yeah. Typically, shoulder hair doesn't have that same pizzazz that you get from the other hair. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I get that. Yeah.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen watching at home, we are 82.53% to our goal. All Streamlabs donations will help us get to our goal. If you get us to our goal tonight, we'll do another bonus episode next Saturday. We've done bonus episodes all year long. And if we end that now tonight, then I guess I get Saturday off. So,
oh my God. No, we can't end that because we've got a lot of cool stuff planned. So
good.
It must happen. In the meantime, I want to talk really quick about Illuminate Cannabis Company.
Just dropping
a product
by for a second to say hi.
Shit.
Sorry. Watching UFC and boxing.
Thank you,
It's
typical
okay.
fat
Thank
fuck.
you. You're helping us out a lot. So this is totally not a sponsor. This is actually just something I like to use myself.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And yeah, they have apparel, men's and women's apparel, and then also products that aren't actual. It's not. It says it's Illuminate Cannabis Company, but they don't sell cannabis. It's just like ashtrays and
products for the cannabis enthusiasts.
Enthusiasts, not the actual cannabis itself.
For the cannabinoid lifestyle.
And if anyone wants to check this out, check out the DP Twitter. I actually posted a link to this. People who use it, they can get 15% off. They use things like 3D printers and stuff to make a lot of this stuff. This is what I need because sometimes I want to pack a whole bunch of joints and take them with me on the road, or maybe I don't finish one and I need to pack it away.
Is that what that's for?
Yeah. They also have Canagar rolling things, so you can like roll a giant cigar Canagar.
Does this make you feel like the James Bond of pot smoking?
Yes. More like the MacGyver of pot smoking.
Why? Because MacGyver never got hot chicks.
I think he did.
Oh, sorry.
Pretty sure he did.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Richard Dean Anderson.
I didn't watch MacGyver very often.
Okay.
I didn't either. I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember that.
He got like an 80s broad with mom jeans, right? Like,
but that's what you got in that year.
Yeah, but Bond got like pussy galore.
That was in the 60s.
Yeah, he got some Bond
in 70s.
Didn't Bond have a trans
I don't think so.
Bond girl?
I don't think so.
I thought there was like a trans Bond girl in the 70s.
Yeah, you should tell Vaush about your theory about trans women who get their they get the surgery.
The surgery?
Yeah.
I'm ready for the theory. Hit me up.
I was on a stream one night with a trans person that was answering questions. They're like, I'll answer all questions, even dumb ones. I'll answer them all.
And Billy's like, oh yeah.
So I was like, I got some dumb questions.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would you as a trans person want to take the one special thing about you and cut it off? Like that, like all women can have pussies, but not all women can have big fucking dicks. That's like cutting the horn off a unicorn. And they said to me that I
finally Googled Ben Shapiro's sister. God damn. Move over Gal Gadot.
Wow.
Gal Gadot. Yeah, no, Ben Shapiro's sister's got big old jugs. But yeah, the point of my story, they said that I was fetishizing trans, and I was like, I guess.
Yeah, you know what? Vaush's chat is just literally said that it sounds like a fetish.
Yeah, don't listen. Don't look at the chat, okay?
I mean, is it a fetish though? Like literally, I don't see why you would get rid of that healthy hog. I could see if you had a tiny one, turn it into a pussy. Who needs to keep a tiny dick? But if you got a big old healthy hog, wear that motherfucker like a Rolex on your wrist. Walk in the room like, "Hey boys," slapped over.
A lot of them do got a tiny hog though. The HRT, the hormone replacement therapy, they go through all the estrogen they take. It shrinks that shit right up like a little raisin. Sometimes they can't even get it hard.
I guess if you got a raisin, might as well slice that ball bag open, turn it into some vagina lips, put the little cletus down there, make your penis a cletus, call it a day. But if you got a swinging hog, man, be a hot chick. Be a hot chick with a big old dick. That's bonus material right there. Like, that's
listen, I will say this. I will say it definitively. I think we all want to live in a world where girls with penises can choose whether or not to get bottom surgery as per their preference. And if they choose to stick with a penis, the big old fucking dick, then you can be like, that's fucking cool. And they can be like, yes, it is cool. And that's pretty much the extent of the conversation.
It is cool, I suppose. But I mean,
you should not be able to shame them for losing.
Not shame. I just want people to reconsider that's
you should not be trying to influence
Why
them.
not? I don't want you doing something irreversible to your body and then 4 months later realizing you had a healthy hog and now you got a ghost hog. All you can do is haunt the pussy. Like, that's not cool. Keep that giant tallywhacker. You never know when you want to stir someone's coffee with your dick, dude. Just make them a cappuccino with the dick tip and just froth that bitch up. But no.
I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, you can always wear a strap on if you've got a pussy, but there's no like pussy on if you have a dick, unless you just want to use the ass. But everyone can use the ass.
They can still titty fuck the ball bag.
You can go in pretty far with that.
Yeah, why cut the? Why
you
cut
can
the
do a
dick
lot
up
of really
when you could
inventive
just titty
shit
fuck
with
the ball
penises.
bag?
straight cis dudes get fucking crazy boring with what they do with their dick. Like, oh, in and out, wow, fucking Nobel Prize. You see some of the crazy fucking shit trans girls would do with their dicks together. It's fucking wild. They've got they've got like forbidden Oriental techniques that are known only to the wisest Shinjo monks.
I should go Yoda one of those.
Is that Yoda?
Yeah, I'll go train with one. Like they could teach me. They could I'll be like Yoda, teach me your ways. I'll go to Dagobah with a nice trans woman with a big old super hog that knows all this ancient secrets
with an X-wing.
And I'll be like, yeah, would you just help me get this X-wing out of the swamp? That's all I need.
You see, in order to do so, you will have to fold your entire penis into your urethra. Only then will you have any chance.
Is that possible?
Try it out.
Is that possible?
Yeah, wait, try it out. That's the number one hot sex. That's like the temp pussy, where you fold the entire penis into the urethra, and then when you're done, 40 or 50 minutes later, you just have a gaping sort of raw red piss-soaked into like hole that kind of caves into your taint. You know.
The most I ever did with a urethra was I put a blow pop into my urethra, and I made a girl eat Pop Rocks while I played 50 Cent's Candy Shop. Take me to the candy shop. And then she gave me a BJ with Pop Rocks and a blow pop in my urethra. It was the candy shop. Yeah, it was an invention.
You're so messed up.
I invented that.
You're so messed up.
That's as far as I've gone. I don't think I can implode my penis on itself. I can't roll it up like a damn slinky and toss it down the steps of my house and watch it crawl.
Now I just have that fucking song playing in my head. I fucking hated that song. Music is art. There was no fucking allegory in that song. They did not try. They didn't try at all. That song was invented so that high school boys could put it on their like third dates with their new girlfriends and like give them suggestive eyebrow wiggles, you know?
Take me to the candy shop. Lick it like a lollipop.
I'll let you lick my lollipop.
I'll let you lick
and
my
then Lil
lollipop.
Wayne came out with Lollipop too, because you know why? Because suckers are just oral asphyxiation, right? Girls who get suckers and guys who get suckers. If you have suckers, you just like sucking penis, right? Isn't that the rule?
Did you see Vaush's interview with Jesse Lee Peterson?
I didn't.
Jesse Lee Peterson got creeped out when Vaush took his hair down.
Why?
I don't know. He made it seem like he was doing something very inappropriate.
Oh, he didn't like it when I told him he was hot either.
Yeah. Oh man.
Is he hot?
For a 70-year-old man, he's better put together than you would expect. I wouldn't have sex with Jesse Lee Peterson though.
Like
this is just like
Jr.
the black don't crack thing, you know?
Yeah. You know, better resistance to the sun. Their skin doesn't age as easily, like the darker pigment you have.
Yeah, he's 70 years old, guys. Yeah, it's actually disgusting. Oh, you've seen Get Out, right? The movie?
Yeah.
Okay, listen, when I watched Get Out, it was a phenomenal movie, of course. You know, and I look at that and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And but you know, I'd never do that, obviously. And then when I look at a 50-year-old white man and then a 50-year-old black man, I start getting to Get Out. I'm like, I gotta find a body. I gotta take the body. They're going in the deep place. It's fucked up how well they age. White people age so much worse than black people.
I don't know if that's fair to say.
As an aggregate.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
It's not like whatever. And we can I guess engage in colonialism better. Who knows? Whatever the case may be. It's just it's not fair.
I mean, white people age like little puppets, right? They look like puppets. Their skin's all loose and their wigs are all extra white and super like Snow White. It doesn't look natural. The melanin is just not there. They just come out looking like cotton swabs left in a mayonnaise tub.
There we go.
Brandon Thorpe getting us so close to the gold, 90% there. That means $80 gets us a show next week. If you guys were going to spend $80 on groceries this week, just go hungry. Send us the money. It's that simple.
Vaush, are your viewers used to hearing this type of banter?
With the black don't crack or the give us more money.
The bag.
Well, the give us more money, probably not.
I do it sometimes. I try not to too much, but we all have to eat, right?
Sure.
This is hard work. A lot of people, by the way, like I've been doing this for less than you guys. You guys started in 2014, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I've only been doing this since fucking beginning of 2019, and even then, I've only been doing it on like a sustainable scale since like a third of the way into the year. This is like actually hard work, you know?
Yes.
Like the maintaining and the stress of self-employment and the myriad factors that go into viewership and donation numbers. This is genuinely difficult work.
Yes.
I have a lot of sympathy now.
Just the
streamers.
IRS alone makes it hard enough to do
The
this
IRS?
kind of work. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, all of the, filing self-employment tax returns and filing.
IRS. Okay, sorry, my brain was in the wrong place. Yeah, IRS.
Do you love the IRS?
No, I don't love them. Anytime I get a letter from the IRS, I open it as quick as possible because I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. Like it's going to be some kind of bad news that the IRS...
We get fucked, dude.
Yeah.
With the fucking self-employment shit, I haven't even paid taxes yet. I recently did the run. I did like calculating like where we're going to be at. Holy shit. Okay. Let me just kindly set aside a sweet fucking 5 or whatever figures. Fuck that. Holy shit.
Yep.
You'd think, if anything, we would be economically privileged because without having an employer, we rely on less infrastructure to do our work. We just need the internet to exist. We don't need roads. We don't need any of the other stuff that facilitates like the tax levels of unemployment. But nope, we both have the FICA tax.
Also, and I have to buy a business license and all that stuff and do like local taxes too. Because of it, and in addition to that, there's all this extra stuff that gets taken out of it. It's just nickel and dime here and there, and I've always been cool with paying more taxes to get like the overall benefits as a result of it. But there's a lot of times I feel like I'm being taxed for stuff that I probably shouldn't be. There's to register your car. I don't know if you've registered your car in Washington yet, but when you do that,
I just did like a week ago maybe.
And it's like they charge you like 15% of the Blue Book value of your car, or something like that.
They charged me $70 for driving a hybrid vehicle. Like, why am I paying a $70 tax because I'm using less gas and polluting the fucking state less? Is this electricity tax?
I paid $450 to register my car the first year I moved here.
Yeah, you got a newer car. Like, I got a cheapo car. It was $300.
Yeah. Well, that one guy's trying to pass that law that people are going to vote on soon.
Tim Eyman?
Yeah.
Fuck Tim Eyman.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work, but...
Tim Eyman can eat a bag of dicks, no cheeseburgers.
I don't know who he is.
He's a piece of shit, right-wing fuck-ass that's been trying to tear our social programs apart. We waste a lot here in Seattle. We do spend a lot, but you know what? That's what we do in Seattle. We don't give a fuck. This ain't Spokane. This ain't fucking Eastern Washington, my dude. We got more dogs than kids in this city, and we still care about the children going to school.
When I first met Billy, anywhere in Seattle I would go with him, people would like stop their cars and yell out their window like, "Billy the fridge!"
Yeah. Which turns out now was a racial slur. They were being racist towards me.
Dude, when we got accused of being racist. Do you remember that? Just because of who we were hanging out with.
Just because we were hanging out with some racists.
Who was the right wing? Who was the right wing person?
Tim Eyman.
Tim Eyman.
Yeah,
is this like a smaller figure, or would this someone like if I
he's a local Seattle thing.
He's always backed certain issues that would vote on that would take money out of.
Yeah, so when the reason why it's so expensive to register your car around here is because a lot of that money goes to the public transit projects, and this guy is trying to lower it down to just $30 across the board. So the car. Basically, because right now they charge you based on the value of your car. So if you have a really expensive car, you're going to pay way more to register your car every year than someone who has like a 20-year-old car. So he
Right.
wants to make it just $30 to register your car across the board. That is actually attractive to me, honestly.
Yeah, because you're a fucking miser.
What?
Just $450 on a $70,000
well, this is
car.
this is one of the
$100 million
this is one of the big fucking cuck moments for me, right? Like this is what's fucked up. So the government needs money. I'm fine with being taxed heavily, like broadly. You know what I mean? I'm totally fine with that because the government like has to provide services for people. I'm comfortable with making less money and having a slightly lower like standard of living if it means that as an aggregate, like literally millions of people get to live more dignified lives.
The revolution.
Like
$2
Yeah,
ham
well-
proletarian.
$2 holla proletariat.
Thank you.
Look into my
Red
eyes.
Scare.
Let the proletariat rise. Red Scare.
True. But yeah, like this is something important. Like, okay, we need to pay tax. Let's fucking grow up. We can't all pay no taxes. Like, shut the fuck up. We need these services, okay? However, like we always end up arguing over paying taxes in ways that affect people who need the money more. And we very rarely, or at least very rarely up until recently, deal with the fact that the fucking insane multi-decade effort to funnel money out of the country and into the pockets of like multi-billionaires has been progressing like completely without a hitch.
Penis was great. Keep up the good work.
That good penis discussion.
Yeah.
And not to sound too Bernie here or whatever, it's just like it's fucking ridiculous. It's actually fucking disgusting when you think about it. Because a lot of people justify this. They'll be like, oh, whatever, billionaires work for their money. Okay, fuck you. So did the lords and nobles of the fucking medieval period. If under any system it is possible to legally justify obscene inequality. You can always do it legally. And if you want to do it through the myth of meritocracy, pretending that billionaires worked a million times harder than everyone else, sure. And if you want to do it through the myth of divine right, as we did in feudalism, believing that these people have divine blood ordained by God to be more worthy than those of the common peasantry, whatever, you can always justify it. But they got fucking guillotined back then anyway. The idea that we can rely on these half-hearted subsidiate justifications for these horrendous levels of inequality is fucking ridiculous to me. Any sensible tax policy in this country should be put forward with a, by the way, fuck the billionaires tax levied on top. That wealth tax of Warren's is one of the few things that I'm like 100% standing her for because it's disgusting what these people get away with.
You know, Amazon was building a new headquarter building in downtown Seattle, and the city decided that they were going to tax companies like Amazon to try to help with the homeless crisis that's going on here. So they were charging a head tax per employee for companies like Amazon and Microsoft and the larger companies here. And Amazon just stopped building their headquarters when that happened. And then eventually the city council here overturned it. And then they just Amazon decided to move to Bellevue anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazon's.
Where's Bellevue? Is that in the area?
It's near
Bellevue is
Washington.
where we are. We're on the east side of Seattle.
It's the other side of Lake Washington.
Yeah, we're right across the lake.
It's disgusting. And that's one of the capital flight is one of the biggest, most obscene like threats. I saw a news article today. It was like London's ultra wealthy poised to leave within minutes if Labour wins or fucking corny if fucking Corbyn gets into office or some shit like that.
Yeah, all the
like,
job
idea,
creators will leave because you're going to make them mad. They'll go elsewhere and create their jobs.
They hold us
somewhere
hostage.
else.
We give them
Yeah.
obscene levels of of material wealth, and everything they do, everything they build, is done by the workers beneath them. These people are power execs. Maybe they have good ideas. Whatever. Fuck you. Not enough to earn the billions. Okay. And then when it looks like they might end up paying something slightly closer to a fraction of their fair share, they all piss their pants and threaten to leave the fucking country. I say, hey, you can leave the country. Sure, your money stays here. I think that I like the risk of capital flight is too great. If we ever start actually taxing these people, they're all going to fucking run over to China, make that country have the most billionaires because at least China respects money over over like their citizenry enough to tax the billionaires. That is.
Have you heard that Vladimir Putin is probably the richest man in the world?
Yeah, because doesn't he like have ties to the mob and own like indirectly a fuck ton of stuff in Russia?
Yeah, and he's got all kinds of offshore money. He's probably got money in Monaco
You
and
think
like
he's
other
got more
tax
than those
haven
Saudis?
countries. Yeah, he's estimated as an individual, he's estimated to be worth about $70 billion.
That's it.
That's a lot.
But I bet you those Saudis are sitting on more than that.
There's
Those
no
kings?
evidence to back that up. Not compared to Vladimir Putin.
I mean, there's a ton of people that don't have to report their earnings, right? Like they're not on these lists of.
Well, what about aliens that have? I mean, like we can go what if? I mean, I don't know what you're saying here.
I'm saying like there's old money that doesn't have to report, and we don't.
The
know how much
Saudis
they
aren't
have.
old money. The Saudis didn't. The Saudis were a bunch of tribal people before the oil really started pumping there in like the mid to late 70s. That's when things really started picking up there.
But they're royalty. They don't have to report their earnings, right?
Yes,
We
they
don't know-
do.
Okay, never mind.
Well, I mean, like
Never mind. I don't know shit. I'm dumb. Let's move on then. Let's not talk about this if you're just gonna bring up aliens, because I don't have enough.
I don't know who's like comparatively the wealthiest. It's just all the wealthiest people in the world have gotten it through exploitation one way or another. There's no other way, right?
Oh, hold on, not Sam Walton. That's Walmart. They're wholesome. They give you a good deal on great products.
You know what? I bet you anything Walmart hates Amazon. You know?
Of course they do.
Because Amazon finally, Walmart, they had the big stores everywhere. They'd move into a small town, put all the other small businesses out of business, then they'd become the only place to shop and to work. But now Amazon has gotten rid of that.
Like people still want to get out of the house, so they have to go to Walmart.
Well,
Yeah,
Amazon
Walmart's-
has broken the entire model. Actually, wait. Wait a second. How much time is there until the conclusion of the podcast duration?
I mean, normally we would have wrapped by now, but because we went down for so long, we kind of came back.
Gotcha.
And also we're getting close to this goal. We're like $30 away, so we'll probably wait. Until
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I was just curious because it's like I wonder about this sometimes, right? Because like just 10 or 15 years ago, everyone went to the mall. Like everyone would go to the mall, and now nobody goes to the mall. There's a mall near my family's house. It's in Beverly Hills, and it's called the Century City Mall. It's changed over my lifetime quite a bit. And when I was there as a kid, as a very young child, it was something of an every person's mall. They had a big open market. They had like the candies and the fast food. It was fun, everyone. And it was nice because the other malls in the area were very upscale. Because, Beverly Hills. But this place, like I could go there with my pocket change. And they changed the mall when I was around 11, and they turned it into more of an upscale, like classic mall. So the jewelry vendors came in, and the fancy clothing stores came in, and the only accessible clothing stores now were like Old Navy. No, not even Old Navy. They had like an H&M, and I think that's like it. Like that, and everything else was just like the out of reach expensive stuff. And I loved it, and that was my mall for high school. And now it's this insanely. They did it again. They upped it again. It's this bougie as fuck, hyper expensive. The appealing only to people. I've been priced out of this mall now. They have this fucking El Italia. Oh no.
Haven't donated in a while. Here's a tip and a toast to your continued success.
Thank you so much. The mall I went to as a teenager is now an empty lot because it was torn down like 10 years ago. And that's the way a lot of malls have gone.
The mall
over here in Bellevue, there's like the bougie mall here. Over here, like on this side of Lake Washington, this is where Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos live. They live like over like right on the shore of the lake.
That's where the malls are turning into now. They're turning into high-end shopping areas,
Yes.
destination, higher level
Bellevue
food
Square
courts.
Mall.
Yeah, there's the mall that I was at today, because I go to the mall. Yeah, Northgate Mall. I went to the mall today, Northgate Mall, to have a Chipotle and play a Pokemon Go. That's what I did. Took a Chipotle shit at Northgate Mall. The Northgate Mall was one of the very first malls in America. It's actually like known as like one of the first malls in America. If you look at its Wikipedia page, it'll say that bullshit on there. They are gutting it. They're putting a fucking hockey rink in there for the new hockey team.
Oh,
they're gonna have a training center built
they're gonna
in there.
practice there?
Yeah, they're gonna have their practice center there. They're gonna have an open ice rink for public skating and all that bullshit. They're gonna have high-end stores all the way through that place. It's gonna be bougie as fuck because that's the only way to survive in malls right now. Because anybody who's kind of cheap is just gonna go online. You know, they have to attract people who are gonna spend.
This is all they have now. Because now, if you want objectively, if you want the cheapest products, the best products, you want the most specific needs met, online is always what you need to do, always, every single time, with the possible exception of stuff like cars or construction work or anything like that. But for the vast majority of products, you want to go on Amazon. And now malls can only really survive by catering either to those who aren't internet savvy enough to know how to use those services, or by making them so. Oh yeah, boomers, or by making them so experience oriented and wealth sinks that they appeal to a wealthy clientele. Now you know what that fucking mall of mine has? The old mall? It has this fucking what do they call it? El Italiano. It's got this gigantic big shopping, this free range shopping facility now, big open, big wooden slats to the sky. Looks like you're in a Norwegian ski house when you're in there, packed with people, and they've got all the cooking ingredients in the world you could ever want if you're trying to make Italian food. High quality, giant cheese wheels, pasta, probably personally rolled by the Pope, mailed on over, just the whole fucking 9 yards. It's insanely expensive, and that's it. And I wonder, what are we going to do with all of the empty space left in our cities once brick and mortar stores finally really die?
Good point.
I think we know what's going to happen.
Here there's not as much space because there's so much water. So a lot of the buildings are just high rise apartments and hotels with the businesses built into like the bottom 2 or 3 levels.
I think we know what are going to happen to the shopping centers like this, the malls that are closing down. Are you familiar with the McMinimans hotel chains?
I'm afraid I am not.
Okay, so what they do is they take old schools and stuff that were built that got that they no longer were needed in the school districts, and they turn them into like boutique hotels. I think we're going to have some like privatized Section 8 type housing in these malls. They're going to build them up, the malls, and make it like community living that's very affordable and cheap and kind of cute. But because people aren't going to be able to afford to buy property anymore, they're not going to be able to afford the American dreams. They're going to be living in these hamster wheels inside old converted malls. They're going to be community living spaces that people can live cheaply, maybe even work inside them.
I mean, that's good, right?
Control. I mean, we're going to need that, right? We're going to need places for people to go when they can't afford to pay the rent and they can't afford to build the houses or build their property values up and own their own shit. We have to find somewhere to take them. We're going to have to repurpose these old structures that don't exist anymore as cheaper ways to live.
It's actually fucking crazy. When I think of how much the modern American city is built on commercial districts, and how much the American mythos is built on the idea of starting a small business. Soon, the only small business you'll be able to start that'll be brick and mortar will be a restaurant. Because you can't fucking Amazon order. I mean, you can Amazon order groceries these days, but it's not the same as a restaurant.
Yeah, it's experience. You're paying for experience now. Like,
yeah.
If you want to have a brick and mortar clothing store, you know, the experience is going out and having somebody tell you you're beautiful before you buy the fucking dress, right? Like that's what people come out to do. You have to think of a way to make what you're selling more than what you're selling. It's the idea behind it, the experience you have purchasing it. You're giving somebody your money because they're making you feel like you're getting more than a product, and that's the way to get people to come out and buy from you in the new world, because they're gonna miss this connection they have because they're so used to talking to their computers. They're so used to having everything sent to their doorstep. They're so used to not leaving the house. They're gonna be bored. They're gonna want to go out and be like, hey, tell me I'm pretty. I sit online all day.
Well, but what about the optimistic take here? You know, assuming we consume fairly, socialist society, obviously. I mean, how can anything be good without that? But ideally, being able to order things from online saves a fuck ton of time. You can just get everything really quickly. You don't have to drive around. That means less need for cars. That means less need for like bulky roadways and commercial districts. This should save a lot of time and money. And it would be nice if that time and money could instead be dedicated towards community centers or like genuine attempts to revitalize local, most community centers these days are just used by fucking like children and 80-year-olds doing their calisthenics and swimming. But what if we had like real community centers, real ones? You pay for it. It'd be a membership, of course, but you've got like the game rooms and stuff, and you've got exercise. It'd be like it'd be to us what school is to kids, or what work it used to be for factory workers or whatever. It'd be sort of a communal space where people could, make friends and live more fulfilling lives. Urban farming too. That's a good idea. Yeah.
I think like people like that's a place of privilege to be able to even have that exist, right? There's people who don't have the free time. They can't afford it's crazy how much people are invested in working 2.5 full-time jobs a week in order to pay for a apartment in most big cities, right? To live in most big cities, it costs 2.5 minimum wage jobs, 2.5 full-time minimum wage jobs. And they work so much that their downtime, they don't have the time to go to a community center. They don't have the time to invest in that. They have the time to go to the mall or the experience of buying something, a quick experience in and out, because all they have in their mind is the monetary exchange. Their time is money.
It blew my mind when I went to the Netherlands and they have like the 25 to 30 hour work week and the mandated paid annual vacation and that kind of stuff. The higher quality of life sort of things that.
Well, that's why I said in a socialist society earlier in regards to the 2.5 jobs and stuff. This feels like the commie podcast over here. We're all here talking about exploitation by the billionaires. Need to distance ourselves from alienation from the workplace. I'm here for it. 100%.
When I was a teenager, I was a full-on socialist. I almost got in big trouble at my school for being, because I went to a Catholic school. So to be like admittingly a communist in school, people in a Catholic school, that was not actually permitted.
Probably not, no.
No.
I think we have to start reinvesting in our communities, and that's why if Andrew Yang was to give this UBI thing or $1,000 a month, the money probably wouldn't go back all into communities, right? It would go to fucking Walmart. It would go to all these big corporations.
I just want to be realistic. If Andrew Yang got elected president, I don't think you could get the House and the Senate to approve a UBI even in 8 years of him being president.
Maybe not. What we need to start doing is we need to get localized, and we need to start giving, like, you said Yang bucks. They're worthless, right? That was the joke, is that they're not. It's not real money. You should have like Seattle bucks here in Seattle. Everybody gets 1,000 Seattle bucks, and they can spend it locally only.
Seattle bucks.
You could help take the edge off, or like 500 fucking Seattle bucks, where everybody spends.
You
locally.
Joke, but that actually could be implemented pretty well.
Like local money that's only good locally.
Yeah.
Because there are two big problems here, right? One of them is that it's really easy to siphon money out of communities. So, for example,
there would be a trading market. People because the money would end up being worth different amounts from one another, and people would end up like trading it too. Like people trade foreign currencies.
It would be, since its level of decentralization and its lack of ubiquitous use would make it almost useless to most corporations, meaning that it would be a genuinely interpersonal thing. Now, mind you, this would have to go alongside a regular currency, but then you could sell that. Okay, very much work in progress, but potential benefits. One of the big issues with like modern urbanization is that literally everyone wants to live in a city. There's no, like, they're called flyover states. Nobody likes living in these places. The Midwest and shit. These dying towns, the Rust Belt. These places are not good places to live. They're economically dead, culturally void. They have very few resources available to them. They have little voting power. They do technically because of the Electoral College, but in terms of like how good the represented will is interested, that's not very powerful. Having some way of like inter-community commerce could be a decent way at bolstering them in a way that wouldn't just get siphoned off by corporations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd have to think about it. That could actually be a really cool idea. This seems like huge, like deep econ territory, though. I'd have to like.
It's cool. We can bullshit our way through it.
So normally we do a show after this show for our patrons, but I don't think we're going to do that tonight. We'll probably just go for like another 10 minutes
We've
or so.
gone long and hard.
And then wrap it up or whatever.
After that, I've got to talk about some ContraPoints drama. The 18th instance of ContraPoints drama I've had to discuss.
She agreed to come on this show a while back, but then we never heard from her. But I'd like to have her on. Like, we've had everybody on. I've had people be like, why do you signal boost this person or whatever, but I don't believe in that. Like, I will literally have pretty much anybody on. I would have OJ Simpson on.
Oh, I'd love to have OJ on.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with their points on signal boosting, but really the reason why we have them on is so I can make jokes like Garbage Island to them and make them look like
that
fools.
burned a bridge, but, you know.
No, that didn't burn the bridge. The bridge got burnt when we started making fun of him and his weirdo girlfriend all the time.
Yeah.
That was our fault.
Yeah, so we do this we do this thing from time to time where we'll bring this up, and we'll have Jeff Holiday who can impersonate JF really good.
JF!
And then she'll do
JF, my head is stuck in the mayonnaise jar again. I look like Winnie the Pooh, JF. I'm Whitey the Pooh.
Oh, my love, get back in the crate, please. I cannot take any more of this. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, this is all disgusting.
I'm doing my best.
This is top tier improv. I'm really glad I could be here for this, folks.
It's very rude. I understand why he blocked us.
I want to say, by the way, the platforming thing is a worry. Because again, like, I'm politically motivated.
Sure.
If you let like a Nazi on and they just like get to ramble in like in the best possible light, unchallenged for 20 minutes, like that can do like public damage, you know. And sometimes it's easy for people to do that. I don't think anyone can fairly accuse you guys of doing it, considering that that one alt-righter, a huge one, has had their career fucking tanked on account of your program, and another one has got their fucking crypto mask thrown off.
See, like,
but
Milo kind of just buried himself. I mean, we were challenging a lot of his views, but we didn't ask him. I told him that, you know, I was raised Catholic too, and to hear someone who was, you know, 13 having sexual relations with an adult priest is concerning to me. That's all I really said, and he just kind of, you know, he TMI basically.
In some fucking way, yeah. But I mean, provided the space and like a huge figure who was getting national attention before that, and now he's nothing. That's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible. The amount of influence, secondhand influence is extraordinary. But you guys, I don't think you were Nazis. Come on, they just unchallenged. So I don't.
We had Onisi on here in the studio. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah, I am. Wait, really?
Oh yeah. Billy was buddies with Onision for years.
He got molested on the couch.
You know what? I wanted to ask you this. I just remembered what I wanted to ask you. How do you feel about Martin Shkreli? You know who he is?
Yes, I do. Wait, hold on. Just tell me what he's done. My brain.
He was Pharma Bro.
He owned the $2 million. The Wu-Tang album for $2 million.
Yeah, he had a discussion with Destiny a little while before getting arrested. I think he's a huge piece of shit. He's really, to his credit, he's very intelligent.
Yes.
But his basic plan was like, I can fund lots of cool ideas if I enormously jack up the price of these farms and assume everyone has insurance and that insurance will cover it. But life is a lot messier than that, and a lot of people got hurt from his decision.
No,
he seemed like kind of a kid.
No, they didn't.
So
get
I'm
hurt.
going to
They didn't
explain
get
something
hurt.
to you. Billy had a lot of Billy's friends. A lot of Billy's friends, like Billy's friends with Martin Shkreli. So he's going to defend
Am I taking the pharma pill?
60% of the Daraprim that he had was given away for free, and he had a thing on his website. If you couldn't get it through your insurance, sign up through the website. He'd get it to you immediately. Like he was scamming the system, not the people. And you say scamming the system. He was playing into the system. There's a reason why he was a hedge fund guy that went into pharmaceuticals. All the hedge fund people went into pharmaceuticals. It was the new Wild West of money making. You know that.
And he ended up getting arrested. Yeah.
The arresting was from hedge fund work before he ever went into pharmaceuticals. It had nothing to do with his
Right. It
pharmaceutical
was
work.
something like he listed he was reporting the profits or something like that, and he like used money of his own to shore up the expected returns or something like
he
that.
borrowed
to lie
money
about the
from one
projected.
company to pay off another, and it ended up, he ended up not losing any money for anybody involved. But what he did was finance fraud. So.
Okay. I admit, it's been a little
normally
while.
nobody
My
would care
memory's
about that. Normally it would be swept under the rug. That's how people operate. But because he was in the middle of fucking all this public hysteria for buying a Wu-Tang album for $2 million and raising the price of a drug that was used to combat toxoplasmosis from $13.50 a pill to $750 a pill. Everybody freaked out and targeted him, and he went down. And he also said that he offered a $5,000 bounty on Hillary Clinton's hair,
or to
not
get
to kill,
or
to get a strand
not to
of
kill.
her hair,
Sorry, not to kill, but
so he
something
could
to Hillary
clone
Clinton.
her. So he could clone her, which was a
But
joke.
There was one funny impression that I got from him, and that's the only reason he got taken down was because he was new money. If he was like an old money, or he had like some like fucking Goldman Sachs or just some really broad banking or pharma background with some protection, like not only would this not have gotten him arrested, it probably wouldn't even have been a big deal. It was because he didn't have the protection of the broader pharmaceutical industry, that connection money, that he got taken down for what he did. He was too eccentric. He was too much of a loner.
The part.
He's also a huge pro wrestling fan and tries to manipulate reality as if it's pro wrestling.
Yeah, that's what he was doing with the media. He was like playing up as a character, and it fucked him royally, right? It got him this huge amount of press and stuff. He was a troll. He loved that shit, but it consumed him, and now he's in jail for fucking 6-7 years. Who knows how long. But
something tells me he's going to bounce back when he's out of jail. I'm
sure he will. Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's in there tutoring people so that when he'll get out sooner. He's the type of guy that will learn like a new language just because he has some free time,
Billy's friends list is like the rogues gallery.
Yeah.
So there's
I
the
got
other
the
one's
best friends.
Onision. Yeah, Onision came here on New Year's Eve, this past New Year's Eve. And I tried to ask him all these questions. He's just like an expert question dodger. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've ever actually seen a video of him. The only thing I know is that he groomed kids, right? Or he had fans that were kids.
That's what they say.
We may or may not be able to confirm such assertions.
This is what I can say.
Gotcha. You two are, by the way, very responsible with that. I actually respect that. Maybe I should adopt a similar policy to avoid any overly litigious concerns in the near future.
Maybe he's dated girls that were under the age of 18, over the age of 16,
and did questionable things where he would meet up with them in other states where it was more legal there than in the states where both of them resided in.
But under 18.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was all legal. It was all legal. Was his defense.
Ethical? No.
But who's here to argue ethics? We're fucking drunken peasants. We're unethical.
I mean, we can talk some ethics.
We could, but when you start arguing ethics, it's like you become subjected to them. And
I'm
it's
pretty sure it is against the law to travel to another
It's the Mann
area
Act.
to take advantage of a lower age of consent, though.
Yeah.
I think it's called the Mann Act.
And I don't know. I don't know what he did there. I wasn't a fucking big follower of his. I just got kind of like circled into his community because I was making fun of him in a YouTube video, and he reached out to me like, "Hey, I thought your video was funny. we should collaborate."
I like how you impersonate him.
We should collaborate. And so I did, and he was never a fucking weirdo around me. So I never, suspected that he was.
Well, now we know that he took measures to make sure that he wasn't a weirdo around you.
That's what the people say he did. Yeah.
Yeah. Allegedly.
And maybe he's a super weird. Like, he's obviously a fucking super weirdo. He's obviously a narcissist. He's obviously an asshole.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Like, that's obvious. But like, I never saw him groom a kid.
The first when I first met him, the first thing he said to me was like, "Wow, you're a manly man, aren't you?"
Yeah, because he knows how to sweet talk.
Yeah, he was like, "You look like you could be from Game of Thrones or something like that."
Lord of the Rings.
Or did he say Lord of the
I
Rings?
think Lord of the
Did he call me a fucking hobbit?
Yeah.
No, he did.
He called you Gimli.
No. Oh, for what it's worth, the speaking roles in Lord of the Rings tend to be a lot handsomer than the speaking roles in Game of Thrones. So there's that at least.
True.
Huh.
Very handsome.
You really quickly. Epstein didn't kill himself, but also like just like an addendum, like an opener. Like, hi, hello, Epstein. It's why are there so many fucking pedophiles?
I don't know. You know what? A woman that we know that has been on this show multiple times, that's a pornographic actress, has spent almost the last entire year in prison because her daughter accused her and her husband of molesting her. And,
oh, shit.
But the thing is that it still hasn't gone to court officially. They've only had like pre-trials. She spent the first 6 months of the year in prison without even getting into court. There was so much confusion with the public defender.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. And we found out that the interview was bogus, right? She was also arrested on drug and gun charges, which have since been dropped. Yeah,
which is good for her. If this didn't happen, like if she's not guilty, those gun and drug charges would have been damning for her with her child. If she wasn't guilty,
there was an update.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trial now likely to start February 2020, a year after she was arrested.
Yeah, a year after she was arrested.
This is actually going to trial. She's not taking a plea deal. 96% of cases end in a plea deal.
Rancho Cucamonga, California, the pretrial hearing that was scheduled for today in the California case against Mercedes Carrera and her husband, Jason Whitney, for several charges of sex crimes concerning a minor, Carrera's daughter, was postponed to December 6th. This new date ensures the actual trial will not begin before the 2019 holiday recess. Sources closest to the defense said public defender Joshua Castro, Carrera's attorney, and Nicola Fitzgerald, Whitney's attorney, are preparing for an early to mid-February 2020 beginning of the trial. So a year after they were arrested.
Yeah. Wouldn't that would suck so bad? We don't know if this is true or not, if the allegations are. But as an innocent person to sit in prison for like a whole year of your life, if you are innocent, would just be ridiculous. I would.
That's obscene. Like that's incredible, and it's all because of how fucked our criminal justice system is.
I do know.
Oh God! All right, let's not doom her too hard.
What I do know about Mercedes Carrera is before she was arrested, she retweeted a trans porn star with one of the biggest dongs I've ever seen. It was.
Are we
nuts.
back to this?
It was, dude.
Are you sure you don't have like a thing? Hey, if you do, like that's fine. My whole fucking community.
Whatever.
I mean, I don't have a thing, but I don't have a thing against it either. Why?
Because you like it.
I don't dislike it. I don't like it. It's just it's impressive. I like impressive things. I can marvel at a fucking the Leaning Tower of Pisa and not want to be an architect.
I think it turns you on a little bit.
No, I don't. I barely get turned on. I barely ever get turned. I'm a sweet boy.
Oh, well, that's a lie.
I can look at it subjectively. I can be like, that's a huge dong on this trans woman. It's a monster dong. And that doesn't mean I'm attracted to it. Doesn't mean I want to play it like a piccolo.
dicks do look larger on women. Like an 8-inch dick on a girl looks substantially larger.
Like a foot long.
Than an 8-inch dick on a guy.
Yeah, look at me. I'm 6 foot. I'm 6'2", 6'3" on a good day, and I don't have a penis that looks like a fucking horse.
But yeah,
cock.
you're right. Mercedes did do porn with a trans woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you put my penis on a 4'10" girl, it would look huge. Gigantic.
The only time I ever saw porn on Twitter was because I followed Mercedes, and she would just post porn all day. That's how I figured out that you can post porn on Twitter and get away with it. I didn't even know.
There's tons of porn on Twitter. You just gotta fucking click around.
Yeah, I was never really interested in it, but just because I knew Mercedes and that's what she did, you know.
I remember seeing
I
a
used to see
video
it all the time. Oh, dude, the funniest Mercedes video, because I would watch these like not erotically. I would watch them just to see like what is going on in this porn. And there was one where she was a Mexican woman, because she's a Latina woman. She was sneaking. She was but they had her play a Mexican, but I think
Puerto Rican.
Yeah, she's Puerto Rican. They had her play a Mexican sneaking across the border, and she got captured by these border agents that like banged her and then like dumped her back across the border on the other side. I'm like,
edgy.
wow. Yeah. I'm like, wow. I thought it was
pretty
hilarious.
fucking edgy.
Yeah. This was pre-Trump era too. So
I just hope
pre-build the wall.
They should give her like a webcam and the ability to make some porn inside prison while she's in there. Like they're wasting her time,
her talent.
Yeah, until she's.
Oh my
until
god!
She
I've heard a lot of people say, "Yeah, I'm not going to stop watching her now." You know what? I'm hoping none of this is true. She claims her ex-husband like coached their daughter to
make these accusations.
Yeah. It's really fucked up. It's one of the most fucked up things I've ever heard in my life. So
I didn't stop listening to Gary Glitter just because he was a convicted pedophile.
They stopped playing him at the hockey game.
But they didn't stop putting him in the Joker movie, the #1 R-rated film of all time.
Is he in it?
The song, the one they play at the games? Yeah. When Joker's going down the stairs after killing some people, they play that shit.
Dude,
Bill Cosby Show and Kids Say the Darndest Things did lose a little bit of their flavor, I think.
Damn it. Bill, you know what you said? Why wasn't there a black figure like Jordan B. Peterson? Like, why wasn't there
Jesse Lee Peterson?
But that's what Bill Cosby was.
Jesse Lee Peterson. Yeah.
Bill Cosby was America's dad for the longest time.
Up until it turned out he's a fucking rapist. I think was a better one. He was always pretty like conservative leaning though, you know. But
he was.
I did get a little miffed when he was like, "You can't be using the cuss words in the rap music." It's like, come on, Bill Cosby. Let the kids say what they want in the rap music. It's just rap music.
A bibbity bobbity.
Yeah.
Let them do their rap stuff, dude.
Yeah.
So how we doing? We gonna wrap this sumbitch up because I gotta take a wicked piss. My teeth are floating.
Yeah, I have to cover the ContraPoints drama, and I'm passing the fuck out over here.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
Vaush,
We're
thank
done.
you. Thank you for hanging with us tonight, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for getting us to our goal again. We fucking did it again, baby. We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
I'm excited. We'll see you again Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday. Good night,
Check
everybody.
out Vaush.
Yep.
Good night.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to speak to both of you. Next time we talk, I'll have a better secondary cam.
Awesome.
All right. Good night.
Cheers.
Have yourselves a good one.
You too.
You too.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready cause they're gonna kick your Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.